just good old-fashioned pitching. There's more than one way to win a ball game, and the Astros are finding them all on a road trip for the ages. Tonight, another chance to keep finding ways and developing the confidence that builds a winner. It comes your way from San Diego next. Play continues tonight from San Diego's beautiful Petco Park as the first place Houston Astros shoot for a second straight win over the Padres. The Stros are hot, having won 4 in a row and 8 of 9, and look to continue the roll with Roberto Hernandez taking the hill. Hi, everybody. Alan Ashby and Jeff Blum with you once again from San Diego. Colin McHugh had some strings on the line last night. The Astros won. Colin now still goes with the 10 consecutive decisions moving forward.
Yeah, it was a great pitch ball game early on. Both offenses stepped up against the pitcher they were facing. And again, Colin McHugh saved by the offense.
Well, when you're talking offense, you're talking about an intriguing bunch right now with the home run ball and the stolen base game that they throw together.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. A lot of home runs, 25 home runs, as you see on the season. 5th in Major League Baseball, which is a great number. You can expect that from this Astros offense, especially considering where they play their home ball games out in Minute Maid Park. But I think it's on the other side of the ball when they get on base is where things start getting really interesting. Last year it was Jose Altuve who did a fantastic job leading the charge on the base paths. But I think having Jake Marisnick, George Springer on the base paths is going to make it even more exciting for those Houston Astros. As you see, they have 23 stolen bases on the season, tied for first in all of Major League Baseball.
It is a very intriguing offense. And now Jack in the Box takes us inside the box score as we look at what the Astros have done in the late innings on this road trip. And the late innings have been intriguing. This team is finding a way to come from behind.
Yeah, putting up big numbers. 26 runs from that 6th inning on this road trip is fantastic. That .302 average with runners in scoring position is unbelievable for me. Doing a great job coming back. But look at the numbers on the right-hand side. Also tells you how well the bullpen is pitching, too.
Coming up, April had been a very smooth ride for Jed Lowry until he got jammed up at home plate late in last night's win. What's the prognosis for the Astros' hottest hitter? Julia Morales has the answers when we return.
series. What a gorgeous day here in San Diego, and Astros feeling really good about the way that they've been playing, taking 8 games out of their last 9. What a great road trip. We've seen lots of bats get hot on this road trip, including Jed Lowry. What a year he's had so far. What a great April after a great start. One of the team leaders in home runs, playing a solid defense as well. You see there in his last 7 games, 10 for 21, 5 ribbies. One of the leaders, though, in that lineup. Moving all over the lineup as well, but things took a turn for Jed Lowry and the Astros last night. He is right here on this slide to home plate with some tough luck, just jamming his right thumb. It would tear the ligament, requiring surgery. He said, that's the way I've slid into home plate my entire life. He just got stuck on that one. Like I said, the surgery is going to require him to be sidelined until after the All-Star break. What a tough break for the Astros there. They're going to recall Jonathan Villar, who's played shortstop but also plays multiple positions. Marwin Gonzalez will also share time at shortstop. A.J. Hinch saying that we can't let this bring us down the way that we've been playing. The league does not care who we lose. Guys are going to have to step up. So we'll see who steps up tonight when the Astros take on the Padres. And patience is paying off for 2 of the biggest sluggers on this team. They've unleashed the beast and put their potential on full display. Stay with us. I'll be right back with more on these guys. Astros looking to take another series on this long 10-day, 9-game road trip, and they're feeling pretty good about it. Last night we thought it'd be a pitching duel, the entire game between James Shields and Colin McHugh, but the offense coming in late, those late innings, we saw a couple of bats get hot. Colby Rasmus and Chris Carter helping the team out with some late RBIs, and they're a T-Mobile game changer. Colby Rasmus feeling much better after the 2 hits. He had some tough at-bats to start the night against Shields, but of course got the RBI double to make it 6-4. And see his numbers on this road trip, 345 with a 387 on-base percentage. Also Carter having a nice road trip as well, 280 on the road trip with a homer and 4 ribbies. And you saw him come in late, too, after some tough at-bats in the beginning. A.J. Hinch saying, you've got to just stay with these guys. Some of the at-bats are not always synced up perfectly, but they're always one pitch away from impacting the game, and we saw that last night. Guys, for more, I'm going to send it up to you in the booth.
Thanks a lot, Julia. And it is a ball club that's playing very well. We were talking as part of the open Blummer about the way the home runs and the running game are coming together along with the pitching. A.J. Hinch has the guys playing well.
Yeah, you don't have to have a high batting average. I think it might be one of the more overrated stats in all of baseball, and you can see that with the Houston Astros. Team batting average is down, but they're scoring a lot of runs via the home run, and they're wreaking havoc on the base paths.
And now tonight's starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. And for A.J. Hinch, the Astros will line them up thusly. Jose Altuve, Luis Valbuena, and George Springer in the top 3 spots. Evan Gattis is the cleanup man today and plays in left field. Colby Rasmus moves to center. And Marlon Gonzalez, as we've talked about now, the shortstop for the ball club. Bottom 3, Chris Carter, Jason Castro, who launched one opposite field last night. And on the mound, Roberto Hernandez.
Tyson Ross, Gold Bear, pitching for the San Diego Padres. Heavy sinker, heavy slider. He works both sides of the plate. High strikeout guy right now, but he also has a lot of walks in those 22 innings pitched, I believe.
Ross was named the Clyde McCullough Award winner for the Padres' Best Pitcher of the Year last year. So you're looking at a guy that's had some success and has a good arm. Pretty close pitch right there, taken for a ball. 2-0 as Altuve leads off the ball game. Jose hitting .325. Fastball at 91 miles an hour to this point for Ross, a guy who's known to be able to throw a bit harder than this. Altuve had a couple of hits on last night's game and just continues to swing the bat very well. 2-2 on Jose. And very close. This is what we saw a lot of last night. A lot of close pitches taken by the hitters. And it left it in the hands of the home plate umpire throughout the evening. That was Paul Schreiber. Tonight it's Jim Reynolds back there. And the chopper's foul.
Yeah, and how about the quality of pitchers and the pitches that we're seeing? You can see it on our pitch tracks. But, I mean, they are just on the edges all night long, and that makes it extra tough on these umpires to make those calls.
It felt last night like there was just a huge amount of pitches within an inch or so of the corners.
I agree.
3-2 hit in the air, center field. Starting back and now back in is Myers to make the play in shallow right center field, and 1 out.
Just saw Will Myers out there in center field. See who's playing next with Justin Upton and Matt Kemp, of course. Big pickups in the offseason. Will Middlebrooks at third, Alexi Amarista at short. Jan Ervis Solarte at second base, Yonder Alonso at first, and Derek Norris behind home plate working with Tyson Ross.
We have a Solarte party going on for you right now, Blummer.
I did it.
Nice going.
We got it on tape.
The Astros start the night 12-7. They've won 4 consecutive games. It has been quite a West Coast trip, and usually when you go on a lengthy road trip to the West Coast, it figures to be a tough time for a ball club. The Astros have put the tough times on the opposition.
Yeah, lengthy road trip in the past couple of years on the West Coast in the division have been a real struggle for the Houston Astros, but not right now.
The Astros just got done playing 15 consecutive games against division foes, the American League West, and they went 10-5 in that span. Evan Gattis back in the lineup tonight. Had that big hit to help the Astros win Game 3 in Oakland. Ball hit sharply up the middle. That's a base hit, first of the night. It comes off the bat of Luis Valbuena with 1 out here in the first inning.
Good to see Luis staying on that ball as you look at the American League West standings. Sitting atop of still Astros 12-7 record.
And 3 games back, the closest pursuer, the Angels. So for the moment, the Astros are the class of the division. Angels, Mariners, Oakland, and Texas. And I think going in, Texas might have been the only club there that really looked like it might be facing a rough season. And so far, that would seem to be true. 7-12 for the Rangers. Let's see if Josh Hamilton is a fix for them at all. George Springer at the plate, the 3-hitter, and George has had a rough go with the bat in terms of the batting average, 183. Springer last night drew a couple of walks and stole 3 bases, and that was crucial in the victory for the Astros. A 9-4 final doesn't sound like stolen bases would be that critical. But George, late in the ballgame, stole third base. The throw into left field. He got up and raced home, and that was the go-ahead run. The Astros would add some more and eventually again win it 9-4. But it's been a very nice combination of that power game and the running game for Houston. And now 1-2 count on George.
Just crazy run on that sinker from Tyson Ross.
Here's that run again right to the heart of the plate.
It's good to see George getting a piece of it. Tyson Ross is a big kid. Doesn't have a real long stride, but he gets on top of that ball. Probably has it in a two-seam grip, but that thing runs down and into right-handers, down and away to left-handers.
George Springer has gone 0 for 6 since going 2 for 5 in Game 2 at Oakland. And at the end of that ball game, he'd gotten his batting average to 200. And now trying to find a way to get back to that 200 mark and beyond. The power game has been absent for the good part. Just 2 home runs for George. He's driven in 6. There you see that Ross really did have a fine year last year. 2.81 that ERA. And Springer waves. Down on strike, second out here in the first inning. First punch out for Ross.
Time now for the steal pitch by pitch. Evan Gattis is at bat back there in Oakland. It was such a big hit. You can see him trying to climb the ladder, beat him there. Lays off one, but he fouls this one off right here, and that might have indicated a chance to go down in the zone, but they elevated again, and Evan Gattis gets on a step ladder and hammered it into center field for a big 2-run double.
What a big hit that was for the club. And I think for Evan personally, he's been trying to get on track here early. 154 the batting average.
Get a chance to see him in left field also. National League ballpark in San Diego.
Went 0 for 1 in last night's game. But he had back-to-back games in Oakland in which he had 2 hits. Went 4 for 9 in that series, and that pitch to the backstop. So into scoring position, Valbuena on the wild pitch.
And that out that Evan Gattis made last night was a rocket to first base. Hit the ball hard.
Pure scald right at the first baseman. Now that'll make a long night for a catcher. Gattis with 3 doubles and 1 dinger on the season. Has driven in 5-4 coming in that final game in Oakland. And a high fly ball as he goes up that ladder again. And this ball carrying to center field at the wall. Off the glove and out of here. 2-run home run here in the first inning. Evan Gattis gets the start in left field and quickly puts the Astros on top.
Did they not get the scouting report to see the pitch by pitch we just showed? If that ball's elevated, Evan Gattis is going to attack it. And 2 times now we've seen him hammer it to center field. Unbelievable.
Wow, this ball carried.
That's right in his wheelhouse.
Well, that's almost a foot lower than the rocket in Oakland, but still right where he likes it apparently.
Ball carrying pretty good. But yeah, that ball was off the glove and out.
So 2 runs in. Colby Rasmus, the 5-hitter, stands in.
So apparently Evan Gattis's offseason training program is to take the axe out and chop down trees at about a 6-foot level.
It would appear to be the case, that's for sure. High fastball fouled back. Well, what's all this stuff about the ball doesn't carry here in San Diego?
We're talking to one of our crew up here, and apparently between 7 and 8 p.m. is when you want to hit your high fly balls because it carries a little bit better.
Wow. And I think Myers in center field got completely fooled by that ball.
Well, it was hit so high in the air. It was amazing it hung up that long. He just kept drifting and drifting until he found himself up against the wall.
I'd love to hear Evan Gattis. I was watching him when he left home plate after making contact, and he looked like a guy that felt like he had flied out on that pitch.
That's a reaction I got from him, too.
2-2 the count on Rasmus, and he's down on strikes. 2 punch-outs in the inning, but the Astros will take that inning. They put 2 on the board on the home run by Evan Gattis and lead it 2-zip early. Just a half an inning for the San Diego Padres. Bud Black, the skipper, lines him up with Will Myers in the top spot. Yangervis Solarte and Matt Kemp. Middle 3, Justin Upton, Derek Norris, and Yonder Alonso. In the bottom 3, Will Middlebrooks, Alexi Amarista, and Tyson Ross. And we are set to go with Roberto Hernandez on the hill. Will Myers, the man that went back in center field and had the ball hit by Gattis, hit off his glove and bounced right out of here. Boy, that was an intriguing play.
It really was.
Bunting drops it third base side, and this is a base hit. Perfect bunt right toward Valbuena, and he was playing back.
Will Myers is one of those guys you probably wouldn't assume would be at the top of the lineup with the power that he has and ability to drive in runs, but seems to be embracing the role here. And he's a pretty unique ball player. He's got the speed to be able to do this on a regular basis. Smart play. You get a chance to look at Roberto Hernandez. Last time he went out there, he got a second consecutive quality start, but took the loss 3-2 in Seattle against Jay Happ.
Brings up Yangervis Solarte. Runner goes from first. The low pitch brings a high throw from Castro. It's a stolen base. Nicely backed up by Rasmussen center.
Good call. He did do a good job charging in on that to keep Will Myers from going. And you also notice, watch Marwin Gonzalez on this play as Myers takes off. Jumps up, fakes the catch, and puts the glove on the base runner. That'll keep him at second base.
Third stolen base on the year from Myers. He's also been caught a couple of times, so he's been on the move a good deal. And now that pitch to the left of Castro winds up kicking off the glove. Nobody moves up.
Might be a little extra intent behind Will Myers' actions here of recent because of that fly ball to center field. He maybe felt he should have had it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think sometimes you can kind of get the adrenaline kicked in after a play like that.
Well, he's got the skills to do it.
Came up with Tampa Bay under Joe Madden and initially made quite a splash in the big leagues. That fastball from Hernandez is running quite a bit to his arm side.
Yeah, he does have good movement on that.
So the Astros quickly pick up a pair on the Gattis dinger. And now the Padres with their leadoff man Myers at second base for Solarte. 3-1 the count. Solarte getting the start at second base. Jed Jerko is the alleged everyday second baseman for the Padres. That's a good-looking changeup.
How about that? 3-1 count. Roberto Hernandez going to that changeup. That was beautiful.
Looked like Solarte was dead red and just waving. That's the reaction you get on a hitter when he's looking fastball and you bring a good change.
Completely fooled.
And the 3-2. Grounded right side past the diving Chris Carter. Base hit to right. It'll pick up a run, and just like that, 2-1, the Astros lead over the Pods. For Solarte, RBI number 12 already.
Explains why he's playing a lot. Solid defense. Good hitting right here. Got himself a fastball in that 3-2 count. Turns on it. It's a bullet past Chris Carter. Good extension through it.
And Solarte, a switch hitter, so he is pretty valuable for the San Diego club. With nobody out, Matt Kemp will stand in. Huge hole on the right side for Kemp as the Astros employ the shift. Kemp has gotten off to a real good start for San Diego, hitting .345. And if he performs the way he did in his early years with the Dodgers, San Diego really has a prize here. Quickly the count at 0-2. Hernandez showing the slider. Kemp came up in 2006 with LA, played in just 52 games that year. But through the years, he has amassed 183 home runs, just one of those coming this year. That slider got him looking. Extra peek by Jim Reynolds, the home plate umpire, but perfectly placed by Hernandez.
Good pitch. You see that slider? And again, Fausto ahead of the count. Doesn't go to that fastball too often. Likes to use that fastball to set guys up and get to that off speed. We saw a good changeup against Solarte, and now you saw the slider to punch out Matt Kemp. Just off the edge, get that late break. Get that late call from the home plate umpires and punch out a pretty good hitter in Matt Kemp.
And now it brings up the 4-hitter, Justin Upton. And a big swing and a miss. Matt Kemp topped out at 39 home runs in a given season. Justin Upton 31. That came in 2011 with Arizona. Last year had 29 bombs with Atlanta. And for the first time in his career drove in over 100. High pop-up, shallow in right field. Altuve goes out, but Springer calls and makes the catch. And it looked at the last moment like Altuve maybe hadn't heard anything.
Just saw Springer out there in right. Marisnick gets a day off because Colby Rasmus is out there in center field to make room for Evan Gattis in left field. Luis Valbuena at third. Marwin Gonzalez picking up for the injured Jed Lowry at shortstop. Jose Altuve and Chris Carter on the right-hand side. And again, Castro the Astro behind home plate. Should George Springer really be flinching if Altuve's coming towards him? I'm going to take Springer in that collision.
He might win that one. Derek Norris, the catcher's at the plate.
Altuve might run through his legs. See him coming in. That miscommunication out there, but luckily the boys hold off, and Springer's allowed to make that play unscathed.
What it felt like to me was Altuve at the last moment thought, I haven't heard anything yet, so I'm going to go after the baseball, and then at that last instant realized Springer was there. And Hernandez spotting it pretty well here in the inning.
And in Altuve's defense, he really hasn't had that everyday normal right fielder to go out there and know he's going to go get it. Usually in years past, he's had to keep charging until he had to make the play, essentially.
It would seem for the moment, though, he's the one guy on the infield that does have the advantage of knowing exactly who's going to be there night in, night out. Pitch popped up on the right side. Castro sees it go back about 6-7 rows.
Somebody down there with a Hakeem Olajuwon jersey on. The dream is in the house.
Did he get up and make the rebound?
No, he ran away from it. It's kind of disappointing.
I call imposter.
Me too.
1-2 the count. Norris, an all-star a year ago, that while playing with the Oakland A's, and he had a fine season. Tailed off toward the end of it, but hit .270 for Oakland. Make that 10 home runs on the year. He would seem to be that everyday guy behind the plate for the Padres.
Be a pretty good move.
You know, that move right there by Hernandez is one that for years, maybe it's still going on, you'd see in the minor leagues just constantly. And I have never once seen anything come of that move. Runner goes. The pitch, grounded foul right on the hands of Norris. Blummer's good butts down the left side, but maybe able to make the play.
Pretty smooth down there. That's Catalina. She's from Avalon.
Her name is Catalina, and she's from Avalon.
Yeah.
Cool.
The island of Catalina.
Imagine that.
That's where Avalon is. Yeah. Her parents took a break that year and took the easy way out, named her Catalina.
That is very nice. Ground ball is foul again. We'll see how Avalon, or Catalina rather, does here.
Yeah, Catalina from Avalon.
Sorry. You know, I grew up right up the coast where you could, on a clear day, which happened about 3 times a year, you could actually see Catalina like it was right there for you.
What a great view. That was an upset Astros fan until Dad handed the ball over and changed everything instantly.
Dad didn't want to hand the ball initially, but...
Oh, that was great.
Norris looks like he's trying to get jammed on the pitches right here. Didn't it? That off-speed pitch looked like he just kind of reached in there and thought, no way I'm going to put the barrel on this thing.
It brings a whole new... you know, you hear hitting coaches, you know, throw your hands at it. That might be taking it a little extreme there.
A little extreme. Couldn't you see what I was kind of saying right there?
You get that chest over your leaning over the plate a little too far.
Keep your chest on the baseball. All right. First inning, 2-1 Houston. Evan Gattis has launched to center field. Took a piece of Will Myers' glove with the baseball over the wall. And just away. 2-2 the count. Well, let's take our look at this. Ooh, wow. Used to always hear punch a hole in it, Blue.
What did that mean, Ash?
I assume in the mask so you could actually see the strike zone, but
that's a good one.
And the 2-2. Pop foul. So Norris putting on a battle here as he gets his at-bat extended after that pitch that appeared to be in the strike zone. And again, last night, I don't know if it's this ballpark or what the circumstances were, but it felt like more pitches in or just out of the strike zone by margins over the course of a ball game. It was incredible.
It was. It was on both sides, too. Yep. It wasn't picking on either guy. It was just, for whatever reason, there was gaps in the strike zone.
Pitch is hammered but foul, using the barrel this time.
It's a good move, good adjustment.
Are there some hitters that feel to you like they have mastered hitting the foul ball?
Yes, I was one of them.
Were you?
Oh, I could turbo hook anything into the stands. It was amazing. I got ragged on it for it a lot.
10th pitch of this at bat coming up. And did you ever try to hit a foul ball?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
I have to say, I never, ever tried to hit a foul ball.
I knew sometimes guys were going to try and get in my kitchen, and I'd turn on it and just get them out of there.
Pitch is popped up, shallow in right field. Altuve out, Springer in. It's Springer, and the catch, and that'll do it. As the Padres put a run on the board with a couple of hits and leave a man, it's 2-1 Houston.
Dunkin', breakfast just got zestier with guacamole.
Southwest.com. And by Jack in the Box, Jack's hottest sandwich is back. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. And if you see Jerry White there, say hello for us.
It's about that time of the game when he goes for a run.
It would seem. 2-1, Astros lead. 2-run dinger by Evan Gaddison. We're going to have to take a look at that. That was kind of intriguing.
Yeah, we got to let other people in on that secret.
Marwin Gonzalez, is he the everyday shortstop now for Houston? We will see, but he's in there tonight as Jed Lowry has gone down with that thumb that requires surgery now, and the word is he will not be back until probably sometime after the All-Star break, and we'll see there.
That's not good. That's a tough loss in that Astros lineup.
It really is. Marwin has played well. Can Marwin play every day and continue to play as well as he has to this point?
Or is he going to steal your quote of bench me or trade me?
Yeah. Well, I have the feeling that Marwin would love to play every day and see what he can do. A.J. Hinch has his hands tied a bit. Jonathan VR now will be a part of the ball club. Any word as to whether Jonathan is here for tonight's game?
Not sure. I'm sure if they were in Fresno, it'd be an easy trip to get him down here into San Diego. And he is on the bench, we are told. But the way Marwin's been swinging the bat and playing all over the infield, not a bad guy to insert into the lineup.
Hey guys, I actually talked to VR. He woke up bright and early this morning, got on a 6 o'clock flight. And that is foul. Sorry, Ash, I'm taking your job.
No, please do. You're great on the play-by-play.
And just Jonathan VR, obviously very happy to be back, but he was definitely tired this morning. Got word really late last night, so it sounds like they were trying to decide, how bad Lowry's thumb was feeling at that point. But did make it early today and is happy to be back and was swinging the bat well at AAA.
Yeah, thanks, Julia. As another pitch is fouled by Marwin. The thing with Jonathan VR, we saw him last year, great tools, great skills. Does it add up to a steady shortstop? And I think that's the key. And I guess right now the answer is we don't know.
We don't know. We've always talked about how talented he is as a shortstop. Got great range, good arm.
Marwin down on strikes, out number one.
But the consistency is the one thing that worries you a little bit if you're an Astros fan who's been watching him over the years. Sometimes gets a little complacent on defense. But we've never doubted the talent the man has.
He got one start at shortstop this year earlier prior to being sent back down. And he kicked a routine ground ball to start things. And that left the impression of it looks like last year once again.
Yeah, that's what you don't want to hear is routine and error. Because you're going to get a lot more routine ground balls than you are exciting plays.
Chris Carter stands in, and there's your Jonathan VR sighting.
Johnny V.
Well, we had him tabbed as V6 for a while. Last year, he looked like a spark plug ready to go. And
too bad it rhymed with E6.
Yeah, that's
sorry.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, and unfortunately for VR right now, that's what's standing in his way.
How about he's another kid? When he got on base consistently, he was stealing bags left and right.
Okay, so last night we were talking about the stolen base game for the Astros. There's Altuve, who led the league last year. There's Springer, who stole 3 last night, has the same number as Altuve. And there was Marisnick, who also could have gotten his 7th to tie the other 2 guys last night. It was taken away by the scorekeeper. If VR was a part of things, you would probably say he could be in that same ballpark.
Absolutely, and that's a weapon late in the game, too. With him on the bench, AJ can throw him at first base, and he can steal a bag late in the game, too.
Carter watches the slider on the 3-1. Called a strike. It's 3-2.
Yeah, I think those 3 guys you mentioned have combined for 20 stolen bases, which is pretty good.
And it could easily be 21 right now, but
oh yeah. That
aside, Carter hits a fly ball to right field. Back is Kemp, angling toward the line a bit and puts it away. 2 down in the 2nd inning. Brings up Jason Castro. Boy, Jason Castro last night hit a ball here to left center field, Oppo style, and carried it right on out of here. He's hitting 196 on the year, but what an impressive home run it was.
Yeah, for a left-handed hitter to go into that opposite field gap takes some big-time strength.
And we talked about the line drives coming off the bat of Castro again this year, very much like it was in 2013. Now, 13 was the All-Star campaign, so everybody with the Astros hoping that that starts to add up in that direction.
Yeah, I'm not sure the exact number, but Steve Sparks, our radio counterpart, came in and was mentioning how many the line drive percentage. When Jason Castro's making contact, that line drive percentage is extremely high. Just got nothing to show for it.
Fastball runs back to the plate. Caught looking is Castro. A couple more strikeouts. That's 4 already for Ross.
Minute Maid Park for Astros Dog Day this Sunday, May 3rd, as the Astros take on the Mariners. Come out early to enjoy dog-friendly activities like a pooch parade, vendors expo, and much more. Get Dog Day tickets today by visiting Astros.com/dogday.
Gotta love the dogs. Yonder Alonso leads it off. He's the first baseman for San Diego. Taps it back to the mound, and a nice play by Hernandez. One pitch and one out here in the second. Brings up the third baseman, Will Middlebrooks.
It's a nice start to this second inning for Roberto, throwing 23 pitches in that first inning.
Well, it was the Norris at bat that really extended things. Of course, a couple of hits to start the inning don't hurt for the Padres either. Yeah, trying to glide through a couple of frames here. Middlebrooks takes a strike. Hernandez has got that nice sinker slider combination that can create a lot of ground balls.
Definitely.
And 0-2 the count.
Ground ball percentage close to 60% for Roberto.
He fits in nicely when you start talking Dallas Keuchel and Colin McHugh.
How about Roberto's whip coming into this game is 1.13.
Very nice.
Real nice. And the opponent batting average at 215. Not bad at all. Hey, you ask and you shall receive. There it is. Good stuff right there. But that gives you an idea that that sinker's been working pretty good early on for Roberto.
If you want to know what really good in terms of the whip is, so you can make your comparisons, Dallas Keuchel at 0.82.
That's not fair.
So, yeah.
And his ground ball percentage is right around like 75% or something crazy like that, too.
That's really phenomenal. Colin McHugh, who had a no decision last night, has a whip at 1.1. And so the guys are pitching really well. Little tapper on the changeup, hit to shortstop. Kind of bobbled a bit by Marlin, who eventually gets the out. It was a little too close at first base.
That'll send AJ's heart rate up a little bit. I think it was a good changeup. Kind of got Will Middlebrooks out in front, but it kind of jumped up on Marwin hitting off the lip, but then he Cadillac'd it a little bit too, and Middlebrooks, credit him for running hard all the way through.
Yeah, Marwin didn't intend to play it like that. You can bet. And I imagine there's a tendency for Marwin to think, boy, Jed Lowry was so consistent. I have no room for error now. I've got to make the play on these routine plays.
Got to.
2 outs, bases empty for Alexi Amarista.
And the good thing about Marwin, yeah, he made the play. Yeah, it was a little bit close. But you know what's going on in his head right now? He's going, I'm not going to let that happen again.
Well, Marwin's kind of tested and proven in my mind right now. And he's done it at multiple positions.
Yep.
The big thing is now, as you get that chance to play every day at shortstop, can you come out of that label of being the utility guy and be the everyday shortstop? I don't know if you ever fell into that category of being utility. You became more of an everyday guy, but at some point, anybody who's a utility player early on has to break that mold that's on them.
Yeah, and you don't know which position it's going to be at. Sometimes that position will find you due to injury, like Marwin is in right now, and is actually ironic enough, if you don't mind me tooting my own horn a little bit. 2006, I'm a San Diego Padre, and I'm roving all over the infield playing various spots, but that was the year Khalil Green broke his hand, and I came in at shortstop and had actually finished off the season playing shortstop for the San Diego Padres.
Well, I've seen you play, so I'm good with the toot anytime. What was your mindset when Khalil went down and you realized you were the guy that was going to have to play there every day?
Well, the light switch went on, and for me, it altered my pregame routine more than anything, because I knew when I wasn't playing, I took ground balls all over the infield. Now I had to focus on one position.
Strike 3 called, high strike. Second strikeout for Hernandez. We played 2 innings in San Diego, and the Astros lead it 2-1. Bees took over Petco Park. Pretty interesting stuff. Astros won the ball game 7-2 behind. Let's go ahead and talk about him. Those guys are watching the ball fly. Jeff Blum's 3-run home run and 4 RBIs on that night. Yeah. We're going to talk Jeff Blum all the time tonight.
Please. Because that's going to be a short night. There were killer bees in that Astros dugout. There were killer bees down the left field line there, Ash.
Which were the tougher of the bees?
They were. The ones down. I wasn't getting anywhere near them.
You could sit next to the ones in the dugout, but not the other ones, huh?
Whoa, Roberto.
Roberto Hernandez grabs a bat. Or did it grab him?
Well, somebody inform him what to do with it.
It's always scary.
He's got a knock and a couple of stakes.
Yeah, boy. All you have to do is spin it at a pitcher, and it usually ends the at-bat.
Just a little wrinkle sometimes, isn't it? You know what the craziest thing about that B game, if you want to call it that, is that Kyle Blanks at the time was playing left field for the San Diego Padres. And if you don't know Kyle Blanks, he's about 6'8", about 250. He's a gigantic human being. And immediately in the middle of the inning comes sprinting into the middle of the infield, pointing out there, and all of a sudden you turn around, the entire batting eye was covered with bees. And you could hear him. It was incredible. That was the last time that ball girl brought a Snickers bar to the game.
Is that what led to the whole thing? 1 out, 5 strikeouts now for Ross already. We're just heading back to the top of the order. Jose Altuve taps it foul.
There's the bee assassin. And we were all called as witnesses as PETA was in uproar.
What's he spraying there? What is that?
I have no idea. Like deodorant.
Line shot back up the middle. Altuve is back at his business. 3rd hit for the Astros tonight, a 1-out single. It'll bring up Valbuena.
Face a guy that throws a lot of singers like Tyson Ross. You're seeing a lot of pitches down in the zone, constantly pounding, and then you see a slide or change up like, I'm sorry, a sinker's hang up like this. You see it pretty well, and you can see how quickly Altuve gets to it again.
You know, you and I were sitting in the booth when one of the broadcasters from the Padres came in yesterday and wanted to know about Altuve. What kind of hitter is he? What pitch does he hit well? And all you wind up saying is he hits everything, and he also runs well as he takes off, steals second base, number 8 on the year for Altuve. He's just an amazing player, and don't even bother bringing up at this size. He's just an amazing player.
Pretty incredible stuff, what he does on a consistent basis. Tonight's league leaders are brought to you by your local Honda dealer. The Astros dominating the stolen bases leaderboard. 3 of them right there on top. That's the 21st stolen base. And one of them taken away last night.
Ground ball right side. That's backhanded at first base. They'll get the out as it goes Alonso to Ross. And into third base. An effective out for the ball club is Altuve. Well, that stolen base can play so big, and yet a lot of times you can look at teams that run well and they don't tend to do well in the standings, and I have a real hard time adding that up.
I would assume that their batting average with guys on base is terrible.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assumption.
Because that's the whole thing with, if you want to call it the money ball or this new generation of hitter who takes pitches, their entire reason for taking those pitches is to get on base.
Yep. Well, look, here's the other thing from me. People say, well, the stolen base really isn't that impactful in the game as George Springer bats with an 0-1 count. But if you hit a ball to the gap, don't you dare stay with a single. Stretch it to a double.
So why wouldn't you do that on a walk if you could stretch it into a two-base walk?
Is the walk or single with a stolen base not as good as the double versus the single?
If you can advance 90 feet,
anytime,
do it as often as you can.
And every time you do it from first base, you're suddenly in scoring position. Springer waves on the pitch away. It's 1-2.
It's like that head is starting to fly a little bit with George Springer.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, what in your mind is going on with George?
Watch his head go first. Not tracking the ball all the way into the barrel.
See that back foot? It just continues to stay in position. It doesn't rotate.
There was a guy that played here in San Diego named Xavier Nady. Had tremendous pop, and he had a similar backside as George Springer. Really never rotated on it. But just had a tremendous amount of upper body strength and could create an amazing amount of whip to drive that ball out of the ballpark.
Breaking ball got him looking. And that'll do it. A costly strikeout strands Altuve at third base. We played 2.5. Astros on top 2-1.
Looks like a whole new lawn. What'd you do? Well,
I have moved locations. I'm in the down the line suite, which is actually really, really cool. 336 feet from home plate. And this was actually 7 feet. They moved it down to 5 feet. Can you imagine the action that these fans get to see right here in this awesome suite? But as we look out onto the field, Evan Gattis not too far from me now gets the start in left, and A.J. Hinch obviously wanting to get that bat in the lineup, and he's proven him right with that home run in his first at bat. But as for his play in left field, very confident, he said coming into this one because of all the work he put in spring training, but he hadn't stopped working and shagging fly balls and getting to work every day in batting practice, working with outfield coach Gary Pettis on that. So very comfortable. It's not what he usually does, and Pettis said he doesn't want him to make any sparkling, dazzling plays, just make the routine ones, guys.
Pitch at the knees for a strike. Thanks, Julia. And I think for me, from what I've seen with the way the teammates have reacted to Evan Gattis, it's part of what endears him to everybody on the club. He works so hard at everything he's expected to do.
Is it ironic that Evan Gattis is in left field with a sinker ball pitcher on the mound?
Yeah, that's intriguing. I wonder if that factored in.
Let's credit A.J. Hinch for maybe trying to think that out a little bit.
Yeah. Tyson Ross, the opposing pitcher at the plate, has an 0-2 count. Ross struck out Hernandez. That came leading off the third inning. Hernandez, by the way, as a hitter, has 4 hits. We'll get into 4 hits on his career, but he's got a lot of at-bats. He's got an 0-something kind of a batting average. We'll talk more about it.
I would have taken the under.
Would you?
After that last AB.
Yeah, that wasn't good. What that pitcher usually, the guy that just doesn't have much of a chance with the bat, hopes is he gets to the plate, the opposition pitcher gives him a fastball early, and somehow he makes contact. Tyson Ross, a big guy. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got some latent pop in there. Ground ball left side. Nice play, Valbuena. He gets up and gets the out. That's a heck of a play.
Pretty good play. That's the hardest part about playing defense with the pitcher up there. You don't necessarily anticipate them ripping one in a hole, or you got to make a great play like Luis Valbuena just did.
See how nicely he bounced up to his feet.
Does a good job when he goes down, anticipating popping back up. Good body control.
So 1 out, back to the top with Will Myers. Myers laid down a bunt for a base hit in the first inning, then promptly stole second base and scored the only San Diego run. That came as the 2-hitter Solarte picked up a base hit to right field. The Astros 8-2 on the road this year. That's a very nice mark for the club. Little tight slider, a strike on the outside edge. Tight but flat, almost one of those little Mariano Rivera cutters.
That would be nice to recreate.
Imagine. The chopper rolls third base side and goes foul. By the way, it's the third time the Astros have reached 8-2 on the road, joining the 93 and 88 seasons. Make that 86.
You know a little bit about that team.
Well, that's a ball club that went on and did pretty well. Not as well as everybody on that club had hoped. New York Mets had a big say in that, though. And that was a talented bunch.
It's got to be one of the better NLCSs ever played. Wow. How did he get out of the way of that thing?
If you're Roberto Hernandez, what are you thinking?
I would imagine he was in just as much panic as we were up here when that ball gets up near the face of Will Myers.
Yeah, that's not where you want to be.
You see the reaction of Jason Castro right there?
No, I missed it.
Watch him. He's like, oh, he knew that he did not want that pitch anywhere near that location.
1-2. And the changeup. Well, after that fastball right at the face, that changeup is nearly unhittable.
Goodness.
Third strikeout for Hernandez. Second out here in the third.
Yeah, that pitch before was supposed to be an elevated fastball to set up this changeup, but I'm sure it was a little more effective after the pitch near the head of Will Myers. Just a tough AB.
Wonder, after letting a fastball go up and in like that, if then you grip the changeup in that palm, if you're not scared of letting it go again. Line shot right back through Hernandez. Second hit of the night for Solarte.
Well, it's one thing you got to be ready for as a pitcher, is the rocket back up the middle. Luckily, Roberto Hernandez puts himself in decent position after he lets go of the ball to be able to react.
Solarte aboard at first base. 2 outs for Matt Kemp. Kemp was caught looking on a tough pitch on the outside edge back in the first inning. Solarte, by the way, yet to run this year. Big man now playing every day in right field for the Padres. And that fastball is getting away from Roberto. Kemp was 10th in the MVP voting back in 2009 with the Dodgers. And then he was an all-star and second in MVP voting in 2011. That year he hit 39 dingers, had 126 RBIs.
Lost the MVP to a guy that was taking steroids. There was a lot of controversy around that MVP voting. They thought initially Matt Kemp should have won it outright.
Yeah, I remember that. Kemp takes a strike. 2-1.
Do I say steroid or do I say PED?
PEDs, I guess.
It's a little more all-encompassing.
You know what, though? When you're right, you're right. And that's what it was at that time. Kemp was an all-star that following season, 2012. Ooh, that changeup has been effective this evening.
Sure has. It's got to be tough as a right-handed hitter. You see a guy throwing a sinker, and you know you got to open up relatively quickly to get the head out on it, and then he throws a changeup in the same spot.
That side shot there, you could see the hip flying, that front hip of Kemp. And the change again, left up, but still getting the ground ball. 5-4 on that put out. That'll do it for the Padres in the third inning. They get a hit and leave a man. 2-1 Astros.
EXU Energy knows every day.
About the express written consent of the Houston Astros Baseball Club.
We played 3 innings, 2-1 Astros here in Game 2. Evan Gattis provided those 2 runs for the Astros, a 2-run bomb in the first inning. You watch.
It's amazing. An elevated fastball. And the reaction from Gattis that we saw, too, was just kind of like, oh, man, just another pop-up. But the way Will Myers kept drifting, and that replay right there gives you an idea how close he actually was to catching it and how close the ball was actually to staying in the ballpark.
Did you see that reaction from Gattis coming around third as he hits a hot shot, but a diving stop by Solarte, and they get the out. Evan Gattis has hit some balls sharply in recent games that have provided not a knock for him.
No, but you got to continue on the positive. He's hitting the ball hard, going the other way. Having himself some quality ABs here in recent days.
But I was referring to when Gattis came around third base, had a smile on his face that would have said, "You're kidding me. I had no idea that ball was going out."
Yeah, did you just see that? That was amazing.
Colby Rasmus at the plate. He struck out in the first. 6 strikeouts already for Tyson Ross. See if we can get a peek at that with Gattis.
Through that beard, you can see a little bit of a smile and a comment to Gary Pettis.
2-0 the count. Colby Rasmus has been showing some pop. Hit a home run last night, a 2-run bomb late in the ball game. Provided some nice insurance. .268 the batting average. Tyson Ross gets quite a bit of that angle from his delivery on the pitch to the plate. And a walk on 4 pitches. Comes with 1 out. Rasmus aboard for Marwin Gonzalez.
Follow the Astros all season with MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or tablet.
Marwin, a strikeout victim that came leading off the 2nd inning and was the 3rd of the 6 for Ross on the night. I think if I were in Marwin's shoes, one of the things, along with what we talked about with that defensive side of the game, that I'd really be hoping happened is that the club continues to win with him at shortstop. So you leave nobody thinking, boy, there's been a drop-off now since Lowry has had to exit the club.
That's an excellent point.
Runner goes, so a little hit and run played by the Astros. 1 out in the 4th inning, a 1-run lead, not a bad spot.
The only bummer about the whole thing is that he's down 0-2 now.
Did hit and runs bother you as a hitter when it would leave that on you?
Well, I was, yeah. I didn't mind it. You know, 1-0 and 2-1 are action counts. That's when you see a majority of them. So when I went down 2-2, not a big deal. But 0-2, it's a little bit tougher hole to dig out of.
You know, you and I played in a little different generations. 1-1 was kind of the spot where you most anticipated hit and runs when I was playing.
Okay.
And I don't know why that was. I think it's a little more well thought out with what you're saying. I think a 2-1 brings the fastball the good percentage of the time. Marlin offers. And down on strikes. Second time tonight for Marlin. Number 2 here in the 4th inning brings up Chris Carter. Carter flied out to right field in the second. That 152 batting average has to be getting a bit heavy at this stage. 20th game of the year for Houston.
66 at bats for Chris Carter.
By the way, we mentioned the Astros start the night 12-7. They're in first place by 3 games in the American League West. A year ago, after 19 games, 5-14.
My goodness.
How's that for a turnaround?
Complete reversal. Wow.
I wonder if A.J. Hinch has even considered those numbers. He's probably trying to keep his nose to the grindstone right now and just go at it day at a time. When you played well as a team under given managers, did the manager kind of keep guys aware of the fact they were playing well, or just let it happen with the club?
Bruce Bochy was probably the most even keeled, and I played with him a couple years here in San Diego when we were winning.
Runner goes, and the pitch inside the throwdown, not in time. That running game continues for the Astros.
They're abusing Derek Norris.
Stolen base for Colby Rasmus.
But you know, that's just Bruce Bochy's demeanor, and then I get traded to Chicago and get to play with Ozzie, and I think he was harder on us every time we won. Great jump.
Yeah, you can see Colby can run, and we haven't even talked about him in the running game. That's his first on the year. The 2 stolen bases for the club tonight give the Astros 25. That's the best in the American League, and they've been caught just 5 times. .25 stolen bases, 26 now home runs, with the home run by Gaddis in the first, and a 3-2 count on Carter. Two runs, 3 hits for Houston, 1 run on 3 hits for San Diego. And that 3-2 pitch, fastball lined into right center field. This will provide a run. 3-1, Astros on top on the RBI single by Chris Carter. And for Carter, RBI number 5 on his year.
There's a pitch Ross probably wants back. 3-1, throws a great slider, gets a swing and miss, which we've seen Chris Carter do on good sliders, but this one backs up on him a little bit, stays up. Just a good job by Chris Carter, letting the ball get deep and forcing it out there into right field for an RBI hit.
Well, that's nice to see. A 2-out knock for Carter, and he does it with 2 strikes on him. Colby Rasmus with that stolen base after drawing the walk proves to be key again.
Yep.
When you're winning and you go back in the dugout and everybody has smiles and everybody's feeling positive, for me, that's probably the one thing that I could say leads to success, is you just have that feeling that works together. Ground ball right side with the shift on, diving, stopped by the shortstop, and quite a play by Amarista. Jason Castro's 0 for 2 on the night, but that one didn't come easy for San Diego. A run on a hit. It's 3-1 Houston.
Hops on a plane, heads back home for his 7-game homestand against some interdivision rivals in the Seattle Mariners. Texas Rangers coming into town before they come back out west again to hang out with you guys for 4 more games.
What is that, Anaheim coming up?
That is Anaheim. Or it's Los Angeles, depending on how you look at the map.
Okay.
But yeah, still a lot of interdivision games going on before they start venturing out. Toronto coming in on that next road trip. Or next homestand after the Anaheim trip. Some interesting baseball coming in.
Well, the Astros certainly hope that it continues to be winning baseball. It has really been fun here to this point. Cleanup man Justin Upton at the plate takes a strike. 3-1 Astros. The slider induces a half swing. It's 0-2.
Yeah, it would be kind of fun if the Astros keep this up and take it home with them. Give Browning a little something to talk about.
Ooh, that would be nice.
Sitting here hogging all these W's.
So the Astros have won 8 of 9. You missed 2 of those wins, so you can't take all the glory here.
Well, they were getting ready for it.
Well, maybe that's what it was. So you are 6 of 7 right now. But 8 of 9 overall. Prior to that, the Astros were 4 and 6 before winning the final 2 games of the homestand against the Angels.
Great run.
So 4 and 6, it felt like, well, where are we going with this thing? And then all of a sudden it turns around. We're back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Not only would Browning enjoy it, but I'm sure Astro fans going out to Dominican Park would love it.
Well, the Astros would love to have some folks out at the ballpark and bringing some noise and making it feel good. The 1-2 got him swinging. Got the change again.
Yeah. I'm not sure that showed up in the scouting report. If it did, it didn't sound that filthy. That's pretty good stuff.
4th strikeout for Hernandez. That's a strikeout pitch tonight.
Sure is. Almost like a split finger the way that thing died coming in.
Five-hitter Derek Norris at the plate. He of the intentional foul ball. When last we left Derek Norris at the plate, Jeff Blum was telling us, as Norris singles into left center field, sharply hit ground ball past the shortstop. A 1-out single will bring up Yonder Alonso. Blummer was telling us that he did on occasions attempt to hit foul balls, and only the great ones can do that.
Well, it was just fastballs in for me when I was hitting left-handed. I stood close to the plate. Guys would try and get in there, and I felt that if I tried to keep the ball fair, and it was a strike. It wasn't going to go very far. It'd get blown up. So I decided to discourage them from coming into the house right there by turning on it and hitting it as hard as I could, making Cheo Cruz dive out of the way. It was quite enjoyable, to be honest with you.
I love the terminology. Come into the house and.
Well, you know, I got to let those guys know that the kitchen was closed.
Yeah, you hate it as a hitter, the invasion tactics that some pitchers would employ. Yonder Alonso at the plate. Grounded out back to the mound as he led off the second. The Astros scored 9 runs in their victory last night at Game 1 in San Diego. And that kind of game certainly aids. But the Astros runs per game now up to almost 4.2. And that has come a long ways over this winning streak. They are 8th in the league in that category. And they were dead last there for a good while. 2-1 the count. Best scoring team in the American League right now, the Baltimore Orioles, who were off last night and off tonight as well, as they've had to postpone the games in Baltimore. Very unfortunate.
Not good.
Now, they're going to have a day game tomorrow with no fans.
That is going to be extremely bizarre.
Foul ball down the left side, broken bat. Count is at 2-2 on Yonder Alonso. Baltimore, Toronto, the Yankees, Red Sox, and Royals, the top scoring teams. Royals have been falling here recently in terms of the offensive side of the game. But they continue to pitch it up. They are number 1 in the American League in team ERA. The Astros are 2nd, trailing only Kansas City. The Astros bullpen is 3rd. Ground ball back and over the mound. Coming on is Marwin with the play. Nice play to get out number 2. Safely into second is Norris.
Time now for the steal pitch by pitch. Will Middlebrooks last at bat. You see the sinker ball coming in there nice and low. Good spots on that. Get him tracking on that outside corner, trying to beat him away. Get him leaning over that outside corner, and then just throw that changeup. Typically induces that rollover right there, but tonight Roberto Hernandez really has a good feel for that changeup.
Middlebrooks grounded out to shortstop in the second. Hitting .237. He's got some pop. 3 dingers. A little fister going back quickly to make the play, Marwin Gonzalez. So that'll do it for the Padres in the 4th inning. Nice play by Marwin. They leave a man after the base hit by Norris. Sweet play 4. And the Astros lead 3-1.
York broadcaster Lindsey Nelson calls the game from 208 feet above second base in the Astrodome's elevator gondola. Umpires tell Mets skipper Casey Stengel that a ball that hits Nelson will be considered in play. Even though that doesn't happen, the Astros still beat the Mets 12-9 on a bases-loaded single by Bob Aspromonte. How much money would it take you to get you to go up there, Ash?
No, there's not enough around.
Yep, me neither.
Although, go ahead and make offers.
Looks like it moves pretty quick.
I'll give the address for those offers to come into real shortly here.
Yeah, I mean, anything's negotiable.
Absolutely. We move on to the 5th inning. Roberto Hernandez once again has a bat in his hands. I said I was going to give some numbers on Roberto Hernandez and his career hitting. Could be a misnomer right there, but 4 career hits. And I'm assuming none of them bunting.
Are you seeing what's going on right here?
Cat and mouse battle.
Well, he gave him the old Little League, I'm going to wave the bat in front of you for a ball.
With the strikeout in the 3rd inning, 4 for 68 on the career. Started the night at 0-60, and now it's 3-1.
He will get the 3-1 take.
You going to give him the green light here?
Nope.
Yeah, that's one of those. If he even bothers looking down at the third base coach for the green light, you look at him like, are you kidding me? And now at 3-2, you going to give him the green light?
Nope.
And he draws the walk.
Oh, now we get to see him run.
Well played. Well,
this should be awesome.
So this is the part of the game that a lot of people are saying should no longer take place. Let's reserve our judgment. I think Dallas Keuchel is intrigued as to what might follow.
He's waiting for the call. Let's go out there and pinch run.
Look at the pitchers.
That's the most entertaining.
They all know that this can only get worse from here. Hernandez with the leadoff walk in the 5th inning. Jose Altuve at the plate. And if you're Altuve, are you glad to have the pitcher aboard running?
You know what that looks like to Altuve having Hernandez out there? Great big log jam.
You know, he could hit a line drive potentially to the outfield and not get a hit. And you know I'm not kidding.
That's insensitive, Ash.
Altuve takes a strike. And an 0-2 count on Jose. Wonder if he was hoping that maybe Roberto could get picked off right there.
I thought it was a Pacquiao invitation.
Is that your prediction of the fight coming up?
Left jab.
0-2 pitch. Hammered to center field. Going back is Myers. Way back. He won't get there. Roberto. Up against the wall. Into second. Altuve with the double. Hernandez is just now getting into third. Oh my, the little man can slam it.
I hope there was a camera on Roberto.
That is base running, not exactly 101 for the kid.
Smashed. How about Altuve? All 5-6 of them laying into this fastball and hitting off the center field wall here at Petco.
Okay, fans, we are watching full speed now as we
this is not
turn to Hernandez, flying around second and being held up at third. Send me in, coach.
Instead of a designated hitter, they should have a designated runner.
Well, Altuve, by slamming it off the center field wall, avoids the possibility of Hernandez being thrown out at second base. So Altuve is 2 for 3 on the night, a single and a double. That double is Jose's 4th on the year.
So is it safe to assume you think a double is going to score Roberto from third?
I'll say it's got a chance. Valbuena is 1 for 2 and
got him. I don't know if it got him that good, but it got him.
Is Jim Reynolds coming close to warning both benches here?
I hope not. I think that's why. I'm not sure. You got both managers on the field right now. A.J. Hinch is obviously checking on Valbuena, but I wonder what Bud Black is. He's probably questioning, number one, if he was hit by the pitch. And then he's probably asking him why he's going out to talk to Tyson Ross.
Look, runners at second and third. Padres already trailing. This is not a spot to be hitting somebody.
Yeah. And I don't think there's intent. Yeah. No, I agree. I don't believe there's intent.
But it scares me when an umpire doesn't seem to have that same feel down on the field.
Yeah, Jim Reynolds has been around for a long time, but like you said, the feel, that savvy of how a game is being played. This will be a good look to see if it actually did get the hand of Valbuena, and it may have nicked that top knuckle. Not by much, though.
Yeah, I'm not convinced. Bases loaded. And what do we have?
I'm not sure. That's a good question.
Bud Black is, I guess, asked to have this reviewed, and maybe wisely so.
Jim Reynolds is the crew chief on this umpiring crew. And you can tell by the replay on the big screen that nobody feels that ball got Valbuena.
I think the fans here in San Diego told you what they think. And I have a feeling that this may come back. Pretty strong reaction by the fans at the ballpark.
Not too sure that San Diego fans are happy with the way their ball club is playing right now, to be honest with you. Looks like there may have been a little graze on the knuckle there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I
think that's a great look at it.
It really is. Really is. Otherwise, I would have said I'm not convinced, but that view that time leaves me feeling like maybe it got a piece.
See what the call is. They've got the headsets off, and the players are.
Everybody's staying in place.
Yeah.
It'll go as a hit batter.
Do you think they can hear this boo all the way in New York?
They might be able to.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Bases loaded. Nobody out for George Springer. Can this bring George Springer to life?
Let's hope so.
Couple of
strikeouts. That would add all kinds of excitement here in San Diego.
178 the batting average. The George has struck out swinging and looking here this evening. 7 strikeouts for Tyson Ross. Now this is, I don't know if it's knockout punch time, but it's that punch that leaves the opponent staggering if you can come up with something big here.
Yeah, it looks like the bullpen's getting loose for San Diego also. So yeah, this could leave a lot of damage on Tyson Ross's record here today.
Little chopper left side. This is going to produce a run. They'll get just 1 out, so it'll be a fielder's choice. RBI Springer as coming in to score Roberto Hernandez. And that makes it 4-1, Houston on top. And now just 1 out in this 5th inning.
Good hustle by George Springer. Better hustle by Luis Valbuena, breaking up and making sure there was no attempt to try and get George Springer at first base. Nice, clean, firm slide.
So again, Springer gets the RBI, his 7th on the year. Runners at first and third, and good speed out there. Springer, who stole 3 last night, is aboard. Evan Gattis is 1 for 2.
Astros 11-0 when they score 4 runs or more.
And what's the number when they score first? That's another one that just blows me away. They're 10-0 on the season. Yeah, I don't quite understand that one, but it sure seems to stand up every year.
With the pitching they're getting this year, and they get those early leads, it's fantastic and working out well for them. Here's another chance for a stolen base. Wonder if Evan Gattis is going to try and shoot the ball the other way or give a couple pitches for Springer to try and steal second.
Now, if you feel like you've got the stolen base, go ahead and run. There goes Springer. The pitch is taken, and the stolen base is conceded. Number 8 on the year for George Springer, and his 4th here in the series.
He had a huge lead at first, too.
Well, that looked like just a concession stolen base.
Yeah. Derek Morris wanted no part. Could have made the throw, but what's interesting is you've got a guy who can run George Springer, but Altuve, if you make that throw all the way down to second base, there might be an opportunity for Altuve to steal home.
Yeah, that's a great point. Double steal was a big part of things there. And with 7 strikeouts already for Tyson Ross, you wonder if Bud Black is thinking, don't throw through. Let's see if we can get a key second out on the strikeout here. George Springer's biggest thing holding him back on the stolen bases this year is simply getting on base.
3rd straight game with 3+ stolen bases.
Wow. pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, that's saying something about your running game when teams know you're going to steal, yet you still continue to do it on them.
And it's the Astros' third bag of the night. 28 stolen bases. Excuse me, 26. And they've been caught 5 times. And down on strikes. So if Bud Black was playing it that way, he gets what he wants now for the second out. And it brings up Colby Rasmus.
Good job by Tyson Ross bearing down, knowing he needed to get this strikeout. Just extended that strike zone on Evan Gattis.
Well, Evan didn't get one up in the eyes that time to be able to handle.
Yeah, too low for him.
Rasmus has struck out and walked. He picked up a stolen base, his first of the year, and has an 0-1 count. The Astros just finding ways to put runs on the board, and they've been so good pitching.
This is interesting too. Again, we've seen it a couple times in this road trip where there's been a runner at third base, less than 2 outs. There's been either a pop-up or a strikeout to get to 2 outs, and the guy hitting with 2 outs usually gets that big 2-out hit.
That has been a key of this road trip, hasn't it?
Crazy. Yeah. Guys have been picking each other up in this Astros lineup all week long.
Tonight's game, by the way, the second of 20 on the year, interleague style for the Astros. And the high fastball thrown by. So a couple of strikeouts. Numbers 8 and 9 finish off the Astros in the 5th inning, but they get a run and lead it 4-1 over the Padres, and Roberto Hernandez with his base running clinic. A.J. Hinch playing his defensive cards early in this ball game. We'll get to that in a second. As 8-9-1 coming up for the Padres here in the inning. Alexi Amarista, strikeout victim in the second, leads it off and takes a strike. It is Jake Marisnick coming in now to play center field. That'll push Colby Rasmus into left field, taking over for Evan Gattis. And so, with the 4-1 lead, A.J. Hinch wants to make sure he has the leather out there. George Springer handles this fly ball, and out number 1. Will Venable is now the pinch hitter for the Padres, as he'll bat for Tyson Ross here, 1 out in the 5th. Roberto Hernandez has been a pretty strong guy in the 5 spot now in the rotation for the Astros. Venable hitting just 174. Swings through that high fastball just at 88.
Venable has 2 home runs and 23 at bats. Seems kind of early to have your power lefty pinch hitting in the game.
Yeah, that's a good point. Do you want to keep that guy on the bench until you've got a couple of guys on base or a little tighter ball game later?
So you don't know how it's going to unfold, but you'd like to see a guy that has a little bit of thump, maybe with runners on.
Ground ball right side, shift on. Altuve with the play, out number 2. And back to the top with Will Myers. Myers had a bunt single, a stolen base, and scored the lone run of the night for San Diego. He was also involved in what could be the key play of the ballgame. Evan Gattis with a 2-run home run, 2 outs in the first inning. Gattis hit a high drive that carried to the wall just in right center field, and it hit off the glove of Will Myers, bounced right up on the top of the padding of the wall, and then went out. And I imagine he feels like it was a catchable ball. So Tyson Ross done with his night. He winds up working just 5 innings, allowing the 4 runs.
Still at 9 strikeouts.
13 strikeouts of Astros hitters last night. So the strikeouts continue to mount, but the wins keep coming. Pitch is foul to the seats. It's 1-2. I don't know if you could say after watching that base running exhibition that there could be a tired Hernandez on the hill, but he's gotten the first 2 outs here in the inning. Odrisamer Despaigne is the next pitcher as this drive flies way out of here to left center field. With a couple of strikes on him, Will Myers launches one. And it's a 4-2 Astros lead. That's number 4 on the year for Myers.
That ball was killed.
This guy's got some impressive power.
He really does. He got himself a hanging slider that just flattened out over the middle of the plate. Got that foot down early, hands were back, and just unloaded on it.
$15 RBIs now for Myers. Bad for your leadoff man. Yangervis Solarte is 2 for 2. So I was trying to spit out Odrisamer Despaigne, who's that man warming up in the pen for San Diego.
That's
and a 2-0
one.
count.
There aren't easy ones on this Padre roster.
You've got some names that will challenge you. There's Despaigne. The count. And now 3-0. 3-hitter Matt Kemp waiting on deck, so not a guy you want to walk here. Castro sets up right through the heart of the plate. And ball 4 is delivered. Solarte reaches for the 3rd time tonight, and it does bring up Kemp.
Yeah, Hernandez looked good in the first 2 hitters of the inning, and Maybe the fatigue from the base running is setting in now. But you can't let that one bad pitch ruin a pretty good outing so far. You got to try and get out of this inning, but this is a tough spot to do it in.
A spot where Matt Kemp, with his second long ball of the year, could tie this game. At top of the 5th inning, the Astros did score a run, but it was an inning that looked like they had a chance to add at least one, maybe two more. And you hate to have that kind of inning go by and then later in the game look back and say that's where we could have put this thing on ice.
It's a situation where you get a veteran infielder that goes out and just has a small chat with your pitcher. Just give him a little bit of a breather. He's laboring here a little bit and trying to get this last out. Throwing a couple balls in a row. Go out and have a chat. Slow him down a little bit.
On the 1-0, Matt Kemp had the green light. A ball and a strike. They're in the top of the 6th inning in Arizona. Diamondbacks lead over the Rockies 8-4. And now 1-2 on Kemp.
Taking time, reach back, make a good pitch right here. You can see him talking to himself. He's probably thinking the same thing. There you go.
82 pitches. So he's not in a bad spot here in the 5th inning. The Oakland A's lead 6-2 over the Angels. That from Oakland. They're through 7 innings of play. And that's Sonny Gray against Jared Weaver. Two count, big pitch now for Hernandez. Bullpen for the Astros is quiet for the moment. Some guys getting up and loosening up the bodies. And down on strikes, Matt Kemp. That is a very big strikeout. 5th on the night for Roberto Hernandez. Padres get a run on the home run by Will Myers. That's it. It's a 4-2 Houston lead.
Your favorite rivalries, or maybe a little of each? With the Astros 14-game flex plan, you get to pick the games and seat locations that work best for you. Purchase your 14-game flex plan today by visiting astros.com/tickets or calling 1-877-9-ASTROS. Marwin Gonzalez coming up here first, and he and Jonathan VR will be splitting time at shortstop. A.J. Hinch saying it's just going to be a day-to-day thing. He could go different directions with these guys. They're switch hitters, of course, so he would have to match up as far as strengths go with them. But obviously Marwin getting a start today. He will start again tomorrow, but we should see Jonathan VR in the Seattle series, guys.
Thanks a lot, Julia. Yeah, it's going to be intriguing to see how shortstop is handled for the ball club now as Marwin leads off 4-2 Houston as we go to the 6th inning. And we want to welcome the fans that have been watching the Rockets as they have won their series over the Mavericks 103-94, and they move on to play whoever wins the Clippers-Spurs series. So welcome in. The Astros lead at 4-2 over the Padres on one pitch here in the 6th inning. Marwin Gonzalez has flied to left field, and you're pretty much caught up from San Diego. Chris Carter will now stand in. Carter 1 for 2 on the night. That was a big hit. It came with 2 outs in the 4th inning. Jeff Blum was talking about the key 2-out hits for the ball club, and that one drove in a run. Made it 3-1 at the time. The Astros added 1 more in the 4th inning. Maybe had a chance in that frame to add some more. Padres have come back with a home run by Will Myers. Odresimer Despaigne on the hill. Pitcher number 2 on the night for these Pods. Got that drop down fastball at 91.
He got away with that fastball is what he got away with.
Looked like it was right there for the hitting.
I'm going to change it up and get away from the barrel finder.
Slider crushed to left field on a line. Back at the wall. This one gets out of here. Chris Carter, a line drive home run, a solo shot in the 6th inning, and it's 5-2. Astros on top of the Padres.
Pitches that are backing up in the strike zone here in this road trip for the Houston Astros are not being missed. I said barrel finder before. This was a barrel finder that got laced out of here. So get on the side, flattened out. Chris Carter got around it. And there's not a mountain of humidity that could have cut that ball down.
Just did get out. Number 2 on the year. Get that, number 2 on the year for Chris Carter.
5 RBIs. Wait, 6 RBIs on this road trip now.
Got 2 tonight. Here's a gapper to right center field. Jason Castro has himself a knock. He glides into second base, a 1-out double. And there's a hit that Jason Castro needs.
Finally found out where they weren't playing. He's been doing a good job of finding out where everybody is. This time, Padres utilize the shifts quite a bit. See the infield playing straight up, at that outfield, Will Myers playing well into left center field. No chance of getting this ball. And good to see Castro with a knock.
And here's another one of those numbers. That's just the 2nd double of the year for Castro.
Amazing.
It brings up Roberto Hernandez.
Why is he swinging?
Because he doesn't want to walk again.
He doesn't want to run. Oh, that's good stuff.
Hernandez drew a walk in the 5th inning and scored run number 4. Well, if you're going to take bad swings, you might as well beat somebody up in the process. Norris takes a big piece of this one.
The ego's been taking a beating with everybody running on him. Now the body is taking a pounding.
Hank Conger, he knows what this feels like.
Well, I think he has an idea of where it may have contacted. And don't cringe, Ash. Yeah.
You want to know, that actually might be the worst form of that kind of abuse, where it comes up from the bottom. Not good.
I'll let you explain that.
Hank Conger is going to do an interview tomorrow and tell us all about it.
That's something that you physically cringe, having been through that process, when you see it happen to somebody else.
Jason Castro knows all about that. It's no fun. And teammates will sometimes have their moment of fun with a catcher, but for the moment it's really not laughter time.
If that ricocheted off his foot, or the trainer is
I don't know if they do this anymore. They used to take catchers while they were on their knees and lift them by the material around the shoulders and drop them to their knees as if that was going to do something. I have no idea. Yeah, to like drop the pain right out. I never found it to be effective. What's Bud Black got to say right there?
No, they were looking at the ankle or foot of Derek Norris. That would have been the least of my worries if I was him.
I had a teammate, Larry Anderson, who used to come around all the time and tell you about his bad ankle, and then yeah, Norris is going to take a couple of tosses here.
Well, now Derek Norris can actually say that.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'll have that conversation with teammates. Yeah, gut it out. Yeah, I wonder if Norris might be inclined to say to Hernandez, if you're going to take that bad a swing, miss the ball, please. They're set to go. One out here in the 6th inning. A run in on the Carter home run. And now Norris is going to have to run to the backstop. It's a wild pitch. Castro into third base. And here's another one of those opportunities to get yourself a run. However, with Hernandez at the plate, contact is needed.
That was not a good pitch.
Well, it's been anything but uneventful for Derek Norris here in the 6th inning. And down on strikes now. Hernandez will be tagged out. Second out of the inning, and that's double-digit strikeouts for the Astros. 10 on the night. Jose Altuve comes to the plate. Jose is 2 for 3, a single and a double. He has stolen a base. The Astros have 3 bags on the night. Despaigne, by the way, worked in 96+ innings last year. He started 16 games. And this fastball right on by Altuve behind him.
That ain't cool.
Not cool a bit. A run scores. The Astros will take the run. But if that's your level of command, you don't belong in the big leagues.
And I don't know if there was intent, but arguably the best hitter in the league, but the Astros' best player, and you throw a ball up around the back of his neck, better find a bunch of pine tar or sunscreen and figure out how to get control of that thing.
Little looper to shortstop, handled by Amarista, and that'll do it. The Astros do get 2 runs in the inning, highlighted by the home run by Chris Carter, his 2nd of the year.
Burrow Hernandez is working with today, doing a great job of staying down in the zone, not elevating or giving anything to Justin Upton to hit. Finishes him off with that great changeup we've seen all night long. Got himself 5 strikeouts on the evening so far.
And a big one to strike out Matt Kemp, ending the 5th inning. Justin Upton, the cleanup man, leads off here in the 6th. Upton hitting .267. Jeff Blum has talked about his tremendous pop that he has in the bat. Has 5 home runs rather on the year, and 13 runs driven in. Can he get 6 innings out of Hernandez tonight? That 4 and 5 spots in starting rotations, oftentimes if you can get the 6 innings, your bullpen will be fine in the end. Drive to left field on a line. This one gets out. Very much like the home run from Chris Carter. And the Padres respond immediately.
It's amazing how these contests are turning into slugfest between these two ball clubs at a ballpark that shouldn't be giving up this many runs.
6-3 now, Astros on top.
Now that's a sinker that tailed back into the barrel of Justin Upton. See Castro setting up away, but this one ends up middle. You see that nice downward stroke of Justin Upton, and again, amazing pop, much like Chris Carter. Slices that one through this thick air.
6 home runs, 14 RBIs. Brent Strom comes to the mound. Tony Sipp, the left-hander, getting loose in the Astros pen. They are out in left center field. And so this is an opportunity for Sipp to get some tosses in quickly, although I don't know that Sipp is one of those guys that quickly takes the ball and delivers it.
Did you say deliberate?
And maybe should have, huh?
Yeah, exactly. That would explain Tony Sipp.
Well, nobody out. Leadoff home run by Upton in the 6th inning. Derek Norris is 1 for 2 as he comes to the plate. Bottom of the knees at best for Hernandez. He gets the strike.
Got the benefit of the doubt on that one.
Well, Norris looks like he's fine now. This one's drilled to left field. Rasmus stocks it and makes the play. Out number 1 on a rope to left field.
Scalded dog going out there to left field.
It's an intriguing play when you watch outfielders on that type of line drive, how they'll drop down, drop their eyesight so that they can make sure that that line drive is where they think it is.
Take the lights out of play.
With 1 out, it brings up the first baseman, Yonder Alonso. There's the changeup that's been so effective tonight. I guess you would anticipate best case scenario for the Astros. Hernandez gets through the 6th inning, and then you turn it over to the pen. Fastball, a chopper toward Altuve. He'll come on and make the play nicely. 2 outs in the 6th. It'll bring up the third baseman, Will Middlebrooks. Little conference between the skip and the pitching coach. Make sure you're both on the same page. Middlebrooks has grounded out and popped out. Looked like Middlebrooks might have had the thought of trying to add one very quickly. And quickly in front, 0-2 is Hernandez.
What a great thing if Roberto can get through this 6th inning. Qualifies himself for a quality start and pushes back that bullpen a little bit. Trying to get some help from the truck to try and figure out how deep Astros starting pitching has been going on this road trip.
Changeup, that starts and goes through. Down on strikes, Will Middlebrooks. 6 strikeouts for Hernandez. Is his night over? One way or the other, he leads it 6-3.
I like fun as much as anyone.
Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Beautiful downtown area of San Diego, down by the harbor. And this ballpark is gorgeous. It's a great scenario for the Houston Astros. The hotel almost adjoins this ballpark, so you're right here. Luis Valbuena leads off here in the 7th inning. 1 for 2 on the night. He has singled and been hit by a pitch. Despaigne back on the hill for a 2nd inning. Called on the outside edge. The Astros picked up 2 in the 1st inning. A 2-run shot by Evan Gattis. They added 1 in the 4th inning. RBI single Chris Carter, as that pitch was a little bit of a gift for Despaigne.
Speed up zone.
One more in the 5th inning. George Springer grounded into a fielder's choice to plate a run. And then 2 runs coming in the 6th inning. Chris Carter had a solo home run. Jason Castro doubled and scored. He went to 3rd and home plate on wild pitches. And hit by a pitch again now, Valbuena. And Despaigne with the breaking ball right there. Just appears to be a pitcher to me that really doesn't know where it's going.
Yeah, he's searching for it right now. No question that Valbuena gets hit on that one. Now being hit back-to-back at bats. But pretty salty move right there by Luis Valbuena with 2 strikes on him. Just hang out for a while, let the ball hit you, and go down to first.
I appreciate Jim Reynolds, the home plate umpire, not coming out there and throwing somebody out of the ball game and creating that. George Springer takes a strike.
Yeah, I don't think there's any animosity between these 2 teams. Although the Padres may be getting upset with the Astros as a whole.
That could be the case. Altuve saw a fastball go behind his head.
Well, the Astros threw a fastball up and into the leadoff hitter Will Myers for the Padres, and then Altuve got one.
Yes.
Who's the leadoff hitter for the Astros. That's the only, it might be reaching a little bit, but that's the only thing I was thinking about.
Yeah, the one that went behind Altuve came with a man at third base. Seems odd to me when you're already trailing, but.
And the obvious control issues that Despaigne has displayed.
Yeah. Yeah, he just looks like, as you said, just searching for something right now.
Well, he used to be a starter. Now he's in the bullpen. I wonder if that's the cause for him moving out of that starting rotation.
2 balls and a strike. Springer hammers one. See ya. Way out of here. And George Springer, can he find this stroke? If he does, this Astros club is going to be dynamite. Number 3 on the year. 10 RBIs for Springer. And make that 11 with his third tonight.
My goodness. He reached out and got that one down in the zone and hit it into that, I guess, this second level of the Western Metal Supply Company out there in left field. It takes freak kind of pop to do this. Man, he stayed on top of that one and drove through it. That was beautiful. That side angle was great. You can see how the angle of the bat was going down towards the contact point. As soon as he got there, he drove right through it.
So the Astros have put 8 runs on the board tonight. We're just in the 7th inning. 9 last night. Looks like George is trying to explain something away there to everybody.
Again, he had to fight it off. A broken bat, and he hit it into the second level of the Western Metal Supply. You know? It's not easy being that strong.
It's the good fastball through the plate that seems to give him the most problem. Fly ball right field, fairly deep, going back. Kemp won't get there. This goes to the wall. Evan Gattis, or rather, make that Jake Marisnick has himself a 3-bagger. So Jake Marisnick comes on in the Gattis spot. That's the 4 spot for Houston. Plays a little defense and then gathers in a triple.
It doesn't miss a beat. The man has been swinging an electric bat. This roll right here is hammered too. The Astros are not missing anything. If they can get a bat on it, the barrel's going to be on it. This ball driven the other way. Slider out over the plate. Kid's feeling good about himself, seeing it great. As soon as that ball hits the fence, you know it's going to be 3 bases, because that's a long way from where Jake Marisnick started.
This is just getting downright impressive. That's the 2nd triple on the year for Marisnick. Infield draws in with the shift on. Colby Rasmus at the plate. He struck out twice in between, drew a walk, stole a base, and scored a run. That was number 3 on the night back in the 4th inning. And Colby comes up empty. It is tack on time.
And the shift and the infield's in. Man, that looks good right now.
You like your chances in that kind of scenario?
I would love it.
Fly ball center field. Is it deep enough to score a run? Myers with the catch, tagging and holding at third base Marisnick. And so not quite deep enough. With it being the first out of the inning, probably the reason for the non-send. With it being a second out of the inning, I think we would have seen Marisnick coming.
Great call. Great call.
So 1 out, and Marwin with a chance to drive in a run. The infield drawn in this time straight away. Chance to match last night's total of 9 runs. And the next Houston hit will put him in double digits. 22,796 on hand tonight. A little better than last night by about 3,000 plus. From the stretch, Despaigne, and this one's popped up. That's not going to get a run home. Marwin is 0 for 4 on his night. So 2 outs. Marisnick still at third base. It brings up Chris Carter, but Carter's had himself a night. Carter's 2 for 3, has singled in a run, a 2-out hit in the 4th inning, and then launched a home run to the first row in left field, a line shot that got out.
It's amazing to look at that line that he has. 176, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, and those 2 home runs and 6 RBIs have come on this road trip.
Slider nowhere close. Carter hit his first home run on this road trip on the same date that saw him hit his first of 37 bombs last year. Three home runs for the Astros on the night, 28 on the season. We were talking about that. It's quite a figure of numbers as Carter fouls it off. 28 home runs for the club. They started the night at 25, 4th best in the league. They started the night at 23 stolen bases. They've added 3 of those, so 26 bags on the year.
Number 1 in stolen bases.
Yes.
Tied for first now in home runs is the Astros offense.
And yet they start the night 9th in runs scored. But they have been steadily climbing in that runs per game area. Carter again fouls one off.
Carter hit that hanging slider out with 2 strikes last time he faced Despaigne. Now Despaigne trying to make the adjustment and get in the kitchen of Chris Carter. Does a good job of fighting that pitch off.
Despaigne came on in the 6th inning, got Marwin Gonzalez, and then Carter, the second hitter he faced, launched the home run. And the Astros have been swinging it well off this right-hander. 3-2 the count. Jason Castro waits on deck. Games have not exactly been flying along, but the Astros will take everyone they can get right now.
Yeah, they've been fun to watch.
And ball 4. So runners at the corners, 2 down for Castro.
So before Despaigne came out of the bullpen, he had 2 games started, 5 appearances with the San Diego Padres. Coming into this game, he had a 1.37 ERA.
But Black doesn't see that same guy on the hill here this evening. He's going to make a double switch as he comes initially to the home plate umpire. That's the mandate. So when you look at what the Padres have, Will Middlebrooks made their final out in the 6th inning. It could be Middlebrooks being involved in the double switch. We will see. But the Pods go to their bullpen once again.
Dunkin', breakfast just got zestier.
Evan Gattis is the first one. Early in that first inning, got himself some high cheese and knocked off Will Myers' glove for a 2-run jack in that first inning to give the Astros that early lead. Then it was Chris Carter, got himself a hanging slider off to Spania and hits a laser into left field. And George Springer goes down and gets him some as he launches this one up into the second deck of the Western Metal Supply Company building out here in Petco Park. And nothing but good times in that Astros dugout right now.
And trying to make the good times even better now. 8-3 they lead it. 2 runs in. Runners at the corners. Castro picked up a double his last at bat, shooting one to the gap in right center field. Scored run number 6. The shift is on. Castro gets tied up as he fouls it back. Quackenbush, pitcher number 3 on the night for San Diego. See, with that double, Castro's pushed the batting average back over 200. He's at 204. The pitcher spot is in the 7th spot in the batting order now. That's where, as we surmised, Middlebrooks had made the final out in the 6th inning. Curveball grounded to first on a big hop. Alonso takes it to the bag, and that'll do it. So Quackenbush comes on and settles things down, but the Astros pick up 2 runs on the Springer bomb.
That man right there, Roberto Hernandez, did himself a solid, got himself another quality start, going 6 innings strong, giving up 6 hits, only 3 earned runs. The great number for me is the walks. He only had 1 on the evening, doing a great job of keeping the ball down. Saw a great changeup from the young man, too, that allowed him to get 6 strikeouts. But a solid start at the back end of that Astros rotation, pushing deep into the ninth for the Astros bullpen to come on.
And now it's Tony Sipp who takes over. Picking it up right where he left off last year. 2-0, 0.96 ERA.
Out there to get those lefties, huh? 3 for 17 against him.
Tony Sipp in the 7th spot, or the pitchers batting in the 7th spot. Jonathan Villar taking over at shortstop. And Marwin moves over to first base defensively. So those are your changes defensively for the Astros. Alexi Amarista, the shortstop, leads off. And Sipp pumps the strike.
You know what else is pretty cool about calling games for a team that's in the American League?
What's that?
How clean my scorecard is when they're playing American League teams.
And how messed up it gets when you play interleague.
Oh, man, this is...
Well, we talked before the game about the Astros being a fun blend of offense with the power game and the running game, and that's exactly what it's been tonight.
Yeah, these guys this year are actually cooperating with what we're trying to do up here.
3 Houston home runs. Evan Gattis, he got it going in the first inning. Chris Carter, he had a 6th inning solo shot, and then a 2-run homer by George Springer in the 7th inning. The running game is simply all over the place right now. Yeah, if you're going to talk about highlight points about the club, go ahead and have the guys come through in that direction. It's been that case tonight again. 2-2 the count. And that fastball just inside. So 3-2 on Amarista. That really slows down with Sip on the hill, but he's been so effective for the club. Fly ball slicing down the left field side. Rasmus into foul territory and can't make the play.
It's a real danger zone down that left field line here at Petco Park. Stadium seats creep out at you real quick. Not much foul territory. Colby giving it his best effort.
It's tough. You're watching the baseball while moving over, and all you have is that sense that the wall is getting close.
Yeah, you can definitely sense it. That's for sure. It's not a good feeling.
Amarista just a .220 hitter. Hot shot, diving stop, VR. Strong throw and got him. Well, Jonathan VR comes back to the club, gets a chance to play at shortstop, and there's a gem to start things.
Welcome back to the show. This is a fantastic play. He's fun to watch when he gets it going, and when he's happy to be here and he doesn't get too despondent. He can go out there and make some stellar plays.
That's a gem, and it's a gem on really both ends, because sometimes you can anticipate maybe the nice play with the glove and then inability to finish it with the arm, but he has plenty of arm. The accuracy is the key. Jed Jerko is now the second baseman, part of the double switch. He bats here in the 7th inning. Nice little double shot there. Marwin at first base, VR at short. You have to wonder what is going through the mind of Marwin Gonzalez as he watches that play while playing at first base.
If we can anticipate what Marlin is thinking, I'd like to think that he's looking up at that scoreboard, seeing an 8-3 lead by the Astros, and he's quite happy to be playing first base and catching a VR throw that involves an out.
I agree, and that's the ideal, where everybody is pulling together. At the same time, when you're hoping to get steady playing time and shortstop is the spot, there can be challenges that are inherent. Marwin's had a quiet night with the bat tonight. But you want to have those quiet nights on nights when your team wins and your bat's not necessarily needed. 2-2. Got him on the change. So Jerko down on strikes. And now back to the top 2 outs. Base is empty for Will Myers. 7 strikeouts by Houston pitching. Will Myers has had a bunt single and a home run. Both ends of the spectrum. Dropped down a bunt single in the first inning and scored the first San Diego run, and then launched one with a couple of strikes on him in the 5th. And that was way out to left center field. Young center fielder has 4 dingers, 15 ribbies. Nicely spotted. A ball on the strike.
Showing good command. Fidgety young fellow.
He can certainly fidget on the hill. A night that saw Evan Gattis get it all started. 2-run home run back in the first inning. Valbuena was aboard at the time. Potts answered with a run in the first inning, and then in the 4th inning, Chris Carter, a 2-out base hit to drive in Rasmus, made it 3-1. George Springer added another one in the 5th inning, grounding into a fielder's choice, plating a run. Myers hit the home run to make it 4-2. Carter homered to left, 5-2, and Castro scored on a wild pitch to make it 6-2, and so on and on through the night for the Astros. VR with the play and not going to get him as he bobbled that ground ball, and Myers just simply runs too well.
Well, that's the routine ground ball.
Yeah, that's the one that you have to get the out on.
You have to.
And I wonder how this is going to be ruled. It should be an E6.
Well, Will Myers is swinging the bat well, and he can fly, so any kind of hesitation in there is going to allow him to reach first base.
But you're right. That's the routine play that needs to get an out. It is an E6, and for me that's appropriately scored. And it's not a desire to come down on VR defensively. It's just a continuation from what we saw last year for Jonathan. Solarte at the plate has reached 3 times. He has singled twice and drawn a walk. Little tapper is foul. Last year for VR at shortstop, he started 78 games at short and completed 72 of those. In those games, he committed 18 errors. 2013 saw him come up with the club, start 57 games at short and commit 16 errors. So big figures. And yet, as we've said, in terms of pure tools, he's loaded.
Yeah, I will never say anything about the tools he has. I think he's got great talent. I believe that's Will Harris.
Will Harris
out there in the Astros bullpen, but there's a lot of things you don't see. When that error is made, you're putting the pitch count on Tony Sipp. It's going to rise. And what happens is when you show up tomorrow, Tony Sipp, if he could have gotten out of the inning throwing, say, 10 pitches, he throws another 10. It may push him out of tomorrow's bullpen. That's going to hurt your ball club a little bit. So it affects.
And of course, with Jed Lowry, who is now out for some lengthy period, will need surgery on a right thumb. Defensively, aside from all he did offensively, defensively so steady.
Really was. He had both sides of the plate going. The glove was going. The team was winning. He's going to be sorely missed.
And that said, the Astros have the chance tonight, if they can hang on and win this ball game, to be 13-7 to start their year. 3-2 runner goes, a very late break, but a walk. And so there's an extra hitter already faced, and now you go after another, the 3-hitter, Matt Kemp. And Brent Strom is forced to come to the mound. As they discuss things on the hill, the Astros are leading it here 8-3 in the 7th inning. Game 2 of this series. Tomorrow night it's Dallas Keuchel going to the hill. We'll make that tomorrow afternoon. It's a 2:40 Houston time start. They go against 1-3 Andrew Cashner. And Dallas would love to be in a position where he has a chance to complete for the Astros a second consecutive sweep.
What did you just say?
You heard me.
Wow.
But this is still a big inning to get through here. 7th inning. 2 runners aboard for Matt Kemp.
And you're facing Matt Kemp with 2 runners on in this inning. So all kinds of situations start to arouse after that error.
And if you make the play at shortstop, Kemp's the second hitter in the 8th inning. So Sip works it to the slugger and misses down and away. The Arizona Diamondbacks now lead the Rockies 10-4 in the 8th inning. The Dodgers are hosting the Giants and trail 2-1. That in the 8th inning.
That was a pretty good matchup to begin with.
Who was that tonight?
Another Kershaw Bumgarner.
Oh, that's right. The 2 big left-handers. 2-0 the count. Kershaw went 7 innings of 2-run ball. Bumgarner still in there through 8 innings.
Yeah. It's all right. Kind of like that Keuchel-Kazmir matchup we saw that first game in Oakland.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Ooh.
And it lived up to the billing. And now 3 balls and no strikes. And don't look now, but Justin Upton is on deck. The Astros have a 5-run lead, but that could turn quickly. Blue Jays have defeated the Red Sox at Fenway 11-8 there. And 3-1. Hate to see Kemp get that pitch again to handle.
Yeah, please don't. Well, I was just thinking in the back of my head, if he gets a 3-0 green light right here. And a 3-0 green light isn't for everybody. I don't care how good a hitter you are. Some guys just don't want to hit in that situation.
Line drive, but with the shift on, Altuve's right there. He'll put it away. That does it for these Padres in the 7th inning. They do not get on the board despite the error, and the Astros lead at 8-3.
The hassle out of yard work just got even easier during the Echo Net.
Your car. Another good matchup. You see the phenomenal numbers that Dallas Keuchel is working with, and again, we always talk about it, but he could have had 2 more wins in there. He's going up against Andrew Cashner, who's got an electric fastball, a nasty little slider, but that's a power arm coming right after you. It should be a good pitching matchup tomorrow afternoon. And Nash already called a 2:40 start in Houston, 12:40 out here on the West Coast. That's a getaway game.
Well, the Astros hope it's a very enjoyable getaway. Heading back to Houston, it's been a great road trip to this point, but you have to seal the deal. To the 8th inning with an 8-3 lead. Jonathan Villar batting in the 9 spot. Part of that double switch as he takes a strike. First plate appearance of the night for Jonathan. The Astros still looking for that 10th hit of the night. 8 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Padres. Each club has left 6. Kansas City a winner at Cleveland 11-5. The Indians have gotten off to a miserable start. Cleveland starts the night 6-12. It's a team that a lot of people picked to go to the World Series from the American League.
It's a tough division they're playing in. That AL Central is rough.
Detroit and Kansas City at the top, and they are good. JV swings through it. 2-2 the count. Quackenbush misses. With that appeal, it's now 3-2. So it's Villar, Altuve, and Valbuena here in the 8th inning. And the payoff, ground ball right side. Jerko with the play. Out number 1 here in the 8th inning. Brings up Altuve, who's 2 for 4 on the night, a single and a double. The double in the 5th inning, his 4th of the year. He's also picked up a stolen base. 8 bags now. And the Astros are just running free and easy. Line shot, 3rd hit of the night. Jose Altuve is at it. Anybody in San Diego, along with other cities, who want to know what this guy is all about, just come out and watch him swing the bat. And he will impress you before it's all said and done.
And that's what I think you were talking about it earlier in the game. Somebody asked us, how do you pitch Altuve? That's a good indication that you don't know what to do to the guy. That was a fastball down and in. He barrels it up and hits it the other way on a line.
What's the big booing going on here?
I think Valbuena's got a new fan club here since he was the guy that had the hit by pitch. You know, got replayed.
Yes, the bluff hit by pitch.
And then he actually got hit by the pitch again. They cheered when he got hit for real. Although technically he got hit twice for real.
Yes,
but it's a weird thing to latch on to.
So he has been hit twice tonight. He's 1 for 2. Had a single back in the 1st inning. Was that tonight?
Yeah, earlier in the afternoon. I read something on, it's interesting you bring that up. I think it was Fangraphs that tweeted out something about the pace of game that it has actually picked up. I believe last year the games were lasting 3 hours, 7 minutes. And to this date, right now, games this year are going 2 hours and 58 minutes.
You know, it may be minor, but it's appreciated, and I think there's still more that can be done.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Baseball is wonderful when the guys are actually playing.
Well, I think keeping the guys in the box actually makes these at-bats bearable for the new fan.
Yeah, I think so, to a degree. If you could somehow get back to that kind of 2.5 hour-ish type of game, to me it's a much better flow.
I'm blaming it entirely on the bullpens.
It's a big part of things, and you take last night, for example. I believe the Astros used 6 pitchers. I think the Padres had 5 or 6 in the ball game. Yeah, and you can't tell managers not to manage that.
No, yeah, I would never say that.
But you've got to get guys in from the bullpen and get play going. Valbuena fouls it off.
But we talk about how specialized the bullpens are getting these days. Starting pitchers going 6 innings, and then they go immediately to the bullpen for the 7th inning hold guy, the 8th inning setup guy, and then the closer. And each guy that comes out of that bullpen has their own routine, their own skit, their own walkout music, and it gets a little extensive sometimes.
It is a bit of a skit. I think that's a good word. 1-2 pitch taken high. Well, these fans in San Diego, trailing 8-3, have latched onto something to cheer about. By the way, Altuve at first base does have a stolen base tonight to go with those 3 hits. That's his 8th of the year. That leads the league, tied with George Springer, who also has a stolen base tonight.
See where Altuve's batting average is at right now?
Yeah, he's up to 341. Where do we remember that number?
Been there, done that. He can say that.
So he's right on the same figure from last year. Line drive base hit. Valbuena is at it. And Altuve sprints to third. The throw gets on by, and that allows Valbuena to move into second base. So runners at second and third, 1 out for George Springer. Speed kills defenses.
And that's what speed does, is it tests that defense. Good job by Valbuena getting that pitch up, turning on it. It seems to be the Astros' wheelhouse. Anything above the letters, they hammer. But again, right here, it's tough. It's a third baseman. You want to try and save your outfielder an error right here, but Solarte doesn't come up with that ball. It gets by him, and when the runner goes to second base, Matt Kemp's credited with the error.
It's tough on an outfielder when he's trying to make the good play. So that draws the infield in. George Springer at the plate, shoots one up the middle. Base hit. Altuve scores. Valbuena comes to the plate. He will score. And the Astros now have 10 runs on the board tonight. Lead it 10-3, a 2-run single for Springer, and his second hit on the night and 5th RBI.
I think we found George Springer's happy zone. Home run he hit out was down in the zone, off-speed pitch. Here he gets one down in the zone, rips it right back up the middle. Off-speed also. Head down.
Oh, that's pretty.
That is pretty. Great look right there. But a great piece of hitting. And I like the fact that, I would like to think that he recognized that the infield was playing in, and hitting a firm ground ball through the infield was going to score a couple of runs, and he did just that.
He's kind of my key. If he finds it to some degree or another, look out, league.
You put George Springer's bat going hot in a lineup that's already going well, sky's the limit.
5 RBIs on the night for Springer. On 2 hits. Of course, he had the fielder's choice that picked up a run. That came in the 5th inning. He was having a tough night at that point. He was 0 for 3. Did pick up kind of a freebie RBI. His 7th of the year. But now when it's all said and done, big night for George. 11 RBIs. And I would say that those 2 runs right there become very solid feeling insurance.
Seeing some late inning scoring by these Astros too again.
Down on strikes, Marisnik. Second out of the inning. It'll bring up Colby Rasmus.
These are some updated numbers that we talked about in the open today. 6th inning on this road trip, what the Astros are doing, and they're doing some serious damage. Up to 32 runs. 32 runs in this road trip from the 6th inning on. 7 bombs. Just incredible stuff.
You know, you can kind of play both sides a little bit. That's with the strikeout of Marisnik, the 11th punch out tonight. There were 13 last night. But between the 2 nights, they've scored 19 runs.
I'll take it.
In a heartbeat, Rasmus takes a strike. It's 1-1. And I'll bet the Padres and their fans are a little bit dazed right about now. Bud Black maybe reciting the words, who are these guys?
Well, I would say, are they upset that their ball club is not producing the way they anticipated against this Astros team? Or are they in shock that they're being throttled by this Astros team?
Probably some of both.
Yeah. On this road trip, Astros starting pitching has gone 6 1/3 innings pitched. They're averaging.
Rasmus down on strikes. That's 12 punch outs on the night. So what? It is 10-3 Houston as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning.
Petco. Our Geico quote of the day is Greg Maddux talking about the art of changing pitch speeds. If a pitcher can change speeds, every hitter is helpless, limited by human vision, except for that bleeping Tony Gwynn. Give you an idea why. The man could wear out up the middle and go into that patented 5.5 hole that he actually had stitched onto his cleats because he owned it, perfected it. That was his 3,000th hit right there, and I got called up the day after that. Going back in time, which was pretty impressive. But Tony Gwynn, an all-time great, Mr. Padre, beloved of the city. Number 19 has been retired. And looking at his baseball reference numbers is just amazing as you get a look at L.J. Hose out there in left field. Coming in for Colby Rasmus, and Will Harris is going to take the mound.
So it's a double switch for the Astros. Will Harris is riding quite a string of his own right now. 24 consecutive scoreless appearances. So he would love to add to that tonight. Faces the 4, 5, 6 spots. Justin Upton leads it off. 1 for 3 with a home run, his 6th on the year. A line drive to left field, first row of seats, very much like the Chris Carter home run this evening. The Astros have 3 bombs of their own. Evan Gattis, Chris Carter, and George Springer. Little dribbler third base side is foul. Will Harris, pitcher number 3 on the evening for the Astros. Padres get their bullpen going again with Mazzoni. Two years ago, Will Harris pitched in 61 games for Arizona. Not many times you'll see a right-hander who pitches less innings than games pitched, but he did that year, 52 2/3 innings, and gets the strikeout of Upton. 1 up, 1 down in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Good old-fashioned yacker, 12-6. Along with that firm cutter that Will Harris has, it's a lethal combo right now.
Local Charlie shows up uninvited with that thing. Derek Norris 1 for 3 with a single. Also hit a laser that ended in an out in the 6th inning. Pops one up. Shallow center field. Altuve is right there. Looks up into that dark sky and makes the catch. 2 outs.
Join the Astros at Minute Maid Park on Saturday, May 2nd, as the Astros take on the Mariners. 10,000 fans will receive a Jose Altuve hit counter bobblehead presented by Goya. For more information, visit Astros.com or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Ground ball. We're going to have a 1-2-3 8th inning. Going to the bag himself, Marwin Gonzalez, and Will Harris sharp in the 8th. It's 10-3 Houston through 8.
Moments spontaneous.
And by Whataburger. You've never had a club sandwich quite like this. The Whataburger Honey Mustard What a Chicken Club. Here for a limited time. But the Astros are going to hang around. Leading 10-3. We go to the 9th inning. Changes for the San Diego Padres. They've got Mazzoni on the hill now. He pitched in last night's ball game. And you see some of the numbers on his recent recall now from AAA. Spangenberger, I believe, is in right field. And they may even have another change defensively.
I think Will Nieves is in at first base. Clint Barmas at shortstop. They got the bomb squad out there now.
We used to call it F Troop.
It's hard to believe, but I think you actually gave Spangenberg a couple extra letters.
Spangenberg, yes.
I like Spangenberger. It's way better.
But they've got Quackenbush, Spangenberger, Jerko. And they've got some
well,
names.
If you say it that way.
Did I do something wrong on that one? I guess it was just the intensity, huh?
It was.
Marwin Gonzalez looking for his first knock of the night. Pretty good over the top breaking ball from Mazzoni.
Marwin's a little aggressive today. That's okay. You're allowed to have days like that.
Mama said they'd come. Gets a piece on that one. Just the second major league game for the young right-hander Corey Mazzoni.
Gave up 2 runs last night in his appearance.
Just 1 hit allowed in 1 inning, but those 2 runs you mentioned did give up a long ball. One and 2 the count. That fastball at 95 miles an hour, so a pretty good looking arm. Just a load of numbers on the scoreboard for the Astros. And that's the way you want to see it when it's all said and done. 2 in the first, 1 in the fourth, 1 more in the fifth. And then 2 spots in the 6th, 7th, and 8th innings. They've hit 3 bombs. Padres, meanwhile, just singletons in the 1st, 5th, and 6th. And you love to have some laughers come along. Don't know that this became a laugher until the 2 runs in the 8th inning for Houston.
I'm with you on that.
Two and 2 the count. Ground ball is foul. L.J. Hose waits on deck.
Steady diet of breaking balls for Marwin Gonzalez this evening. They haven't really hung one for him.
He battles the at-bats despite the 0 for 4 night with a couple of strikeouts. Gets a piece and fouls it back. Boy, that was that 10th inning double, or was it a 9th inning double in Oakland that he came up with to drive in a pair of runs? It's one of the biggest at-bats the club has seen on this road trip. 10th inning, I believe.
10th inning, and then Robbie Grossman came back and got a big hit in the 11th
yes.
inning.
Line shot on a breaking ball down the right field side. First hit of the night, extra bases for Marwin Gonzalez. He's into second base, and the Padres have got to be wondering again, what is going on? Who are these guys?
Sometimes you got to go down and get it. Marwin Gonzalez does just that. Seen enough breaking balls already.
Yeah, for me, that's impressive. Marwin Gonzalez, 4th double of the year. L.J. Hose gets his first at bat since the return. And a low strike called on L.J. He was flat tearing it up at AAA.
Up over 400?
Yep, I might have dipped below that 400 mark in the end. Let's see if we can spot those numbers on LJ. He deserves.
He was hitting 418.
There you go.
9 doubles, 12 RBIs, OPS up over 1,000. That's why we're getting a look at him.
Fresno in the PCL.
Hitter friendly.
Yeah, and I think you do have to be careful about those numbers offensively. But if you're hitting over 400 anywhere,
yeah, that's doing something.
You are swinging the stick.
Hit 280 in spring, 7 for 25, had a double, 2 RBIs in 17 games.
1 and 2 the count. Of all people, Derek Norris is still behind the plate tonight. LJ last year in 55 games hit just 172 for Houston. Chops one left side. Shortstop cuts in front and makes the play while moving into third base is Marwin Gonzalez. Out number one, a man at third. And Jason Castro comes to the plate.
I just learned something.
What's that?
Do you know what LJ stands for?
I think if I'm recalling right, I think it was initials of Little John, Little
Jerome.
Yeah,
his father.
Is that what it was?
His father's name's Jerome. I just learned that by watching the scoreboard up here.
I had caught that the first year he came up. And it's been long enough that I couldn't remember the specifics.
You're so far ahead of the curve.
Please. Nice young man right there. It was the Bud Norris deal with Baltimore that saw LJ Hose come over. In fact, LJ was with the Orioles at the time. The Astros were in Baltimore, and kind of a swap of clubhouses for the two guys.
Well, that was rather interesting.
And LJ actually put up some real nice numbers in that 2013 season. With the Astros, he hit .287. Meanwhile, Castro trying to drive in a run, hits a fly ball to left field. Should be deep enough. Marwin tags, catch is made. And the throw just lobbed back in. Marwin scores. It's a sac fly for Castro. And the Astros add to the lead. It's now 11-3 here in the ninth. And for Jason Castro, RBI number 5. Bud Norris involved in the who's hot, who's not.
Yikes. Off to a rough start. 1-2, 12-17 ERA. Those Brewers, I mean, it doesn't get more who's not than that right now. Injuries and a terrible record to go with it.
4-17.
It's hard to believe.
Man. They've got to have somebody they could call up to help them offensively, wouldn't you think?
Anyone.
I think you could be more specific than that, but
somebody on our staff is a part of the Milwaukee Brewers scouting department.
Yeah. We've got a soon-to-be family member that could be called up. Two outs. Jonathan VR trying to get in the hit parade here this evening. 0 for 1 on the night. Grounded out to second in the 8th inning. And the 0-2. 13 Houston hits to go with those 11 runs.
Everybody in the Astros lineup, starting lineup, reached base via the walk or hit.
That's a good night.
Yeah, considering Roberto Hernandez was in the starting lineup.
Yes. Yeah. We saw some bad swings and even shakier base running, maybe.
Sounds like the total package.
But you know what? He did a nice job on the hill, and that's where he needs to go to work. And he got it done this evening. And has been getting it done each time he's run out there. Hernandez tonight, 6 innings of 3-run baseball. He's got a .380 ERA on the season. A.J. Hinch has to be extremely pleased with what's been going on. It's been Hernandez, Sip, and Will Harris on the hill tonight. Ground ball left side. There's your knock for Jonathan VR. 1 for 2 on his night. Good job going the other way on the breaking ball.
That's a good piece of hitting. That's a good sign. Getting in on the action. As Ash said, breaking ball in that outside corner, stays on it nicely and punches it through that 5.5 hole that Tony Gwynn wore out for a long time.
Well, it's no time for the running game. The Padres play behind. Jose Altuve looking for a 4th hit on the night. And Jeff Blum mentioned it last time for Jose Altuve, but after he picked up his 8th inning hit, his 3rd hit of the night, he put that batting average right at 341. That was the finishing mark last year. He's got 4 tonight. So he's going to push that number upward as he gaps one all the way to the wall. VR scores easily. A run-producing double by Jose Altuve. And it's all Astros now. It's 12-3 Houston as they have a couple of runs on the board here in the 9th inning.
I could say something awfully nice, but I'm burned out on saying amazing things about how well they're playing, especially this kid right here. But you can see that the freeze to contact that we keep seeing in some of these replays is picture perfect.
Oh yeah, he's a pure hitter. 13 RBIs now for Jose. That's his 5th double, 2nd on the night, and his first 4-hit game of the season. He had a 3-hit game back on April 19th against the Angels, part of a 4-3 win. And here's another note on Jose Altuve. That's his 6th consecutive multi-hit game. He had 2 in 5 straight games leading into tonight, and now puts 4 on the board.
That's incredible.
He had 2 in the final game at Seattle, 2 in each of the 3 games in Oakland, 2 in last night's game, and 4 tonight. He's hitting .348 as he stands at 2nd. Ball hit to right field. In and now back, and unable to make the play is Spangenberg. It's a double for Valbuena. That's his 3rd hit of the night, and that's just simply a very poorly played ball in right field. .3 Houston. And this is one of those nights for the Padres that you go from trying to be in a game, as Robbie Grossman now pinch hits, to getting embarrassed when it's all said and done.
Yeah, this is a big one.
So Robbie Grossman, his first appearance of the night, batting for George Springer. Springer wound up 2 for 5. Had a home run, his 3rd, 5 RBIs, now has 11. One more game on the trip. That is tomorrow afternoon, 2:40 Houston time. And Dallas Keuchel goes to the mound, and he has been nothing short of brilliant every time he's been out there so far this year. 4 great starts for Dallas. Mazzoni brings it, and a walk to Grossman.
This poor kid Mazzoni taking a beating right now.
He's got a good arm, but not getting much help. Pitching coach out to the mound. That is Darren Balsley. And let's see if
Watch to see if he touches the pitcher and then turns right. And he did. Just some of the quirks of the game.
What do you tell a guy in that circumstance? Young pitcher, second major league outing. The Astros are just tearing it up. 16 hits on the board now. And Jake Marisnick comes to the plate, and the thing is, the Astros are doing nothing wrong. You can't give up at bats, and Marisnick's not going to do so. He drills it down the left field side. This is going to plate at least one. It's a double for Marisnick. Ravi Grossman held at third base. It's 14-3, and Jake Marisnick came in this game defensively in the 6th inning, is now 2 for 3 with 5 total bases. He's had a 3-bagger and a double. Jake Marisnick is looking like a guy who wants to play 160 games in center field.
Looks like a guy that should.
And now Will Harris comes to the plate. Harris takes a strike at the knees, 0-2 the count.
I think Will Harris was counting on doing this in the San Diego series.
I think not. Do you think he will swing the bat, or was he told to just go take the pitches and go back out and maybe work the 9th inning?
Crazy.
Strike 3 called. And I think that was the assignment. Do not swing the bat. Do not rub any salt in wounds. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Astros.
This week, Thursday night, is Young Professionals Night at every Astros home game. Connect with other young professionals from around Houston while enjoying an extended happy hour in the Bud Patio from 5 to 6:30 p.m. For more info, visit Astros.com/youngprofessionals or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. These Astros have been very happy lately with the way that they've been playing ball in the clubhouse. Just a lot of fun. They're very loose, as you can tell. But Altuve said there's no surprise in how well we've been playing. We knew we were a good team. We just didn't know when we're going to all put it together. They've definitely done that. Colin McHugh, who pitched last night, said this team is just a lot of fun to watch. 1 through 9 can do it, but it's also the guys on the bench that can get it done too. So much depth there. Even Scott Feldman joining in, saying that every team is different, and I know from this year to last year there's a big improvement, but coming off the field every day, going into the clubhouse, we're having a lot of fun. We really enjoy what we're doing right now.
Thanks, Julia. And it is fun scoring a lot of runs and winning. I think there's still that need to prove to yourself you can do it for a long haul. This club right now is playing great baseball, though.
Yeah, enjoy it while you can, but don't get lost in the moment. There's plenty of baseball left.
Will Nieves leads off for the Padres here in the 9th inning, trailing by 11. Runs make you feel comfy as the skip?
Yep. it also makes you want to save a couple for tomorrow.
How many times do you hear that down in the dugout? Save some, guys. The starting pitcher for tomorrow's game is hollering out, save some for me.
Exactly.
Breaking ball is high. 2-2 the count. Alexi Amarista waits on deck. Well, that could have been called. Nieves fouls it back, hitting just 111. And Padres fans, get yourself a good novel. The Hobbit. That's a new book that just came out this past week, right?
I have no clue. I am not a Hobbit reader.
J.R.R. Tolkien.
Wow, somebody's a Hobbit fan.
Which is fouled down the right side.
It's impressive, Ash.
It was 1970-ish. 1970, I think. Might have been the first real foray that I had into going off and reading something like that, and read the entire trilogy that followed, and just loved it. Up until then, it was the Mickey Mantle story and whatever.
It's a good one.
I enjoyed my stay in Middle Earth.
I don't know what to do with that.
You were about to say go back any time now, huh? Strike three called. Caught looking Nieves, out number one here in the ninth.
I would never say that about you, Ash.
No.
I'm lost without you.
Exactly. Will Harris gets a two-inning outing to try to extend that string to 25 straight scoreless outings. So he's going to earn it tonight. Eight-hitter Alexi Amarista at the plate has a strike on him. You go to the plate in this scenario taking, or usually it's go swing the bats, let's get some hits and see if we can get something going for tomorrow. There's a guy that got it started tonight, Evan Gattis. Of course, George Springer added 5 RBIs, no home run, but Evan Gattis, a 2-run homer back in the first inning. Kind of easy to forget that. Hot shot hit to Altuve. He makes the play. Done everything else right tonight. Second out here in the ninth, and 1 out away. And it brings up Jerko. Colby Rasmus was a part of the starting lineup. Colby wound up 0 for 4 on the night. Did walk, stole a bag, and scored a run. And Jerko goes up with the mindset to get a good swing and see what he can do. Will Harris is part of a bullpen that has been fantastic. And he just simply goes along and mows the hitters down. Roberto Hernandez in line to pick up the W tonight. Tony Sipp and Will Harris have followed. San Diego with 4 pitchers on their night, and it hasn't been a friendly night for those guys. Two and 1 the count. Good luck with that night of sleep tonight for you, Blummer.
Yeah, make it quick, right?
And for Roberto Hernandez, the W tonight will be his first on the year. He came in 0-2 despite pitching well with a 3.57 ERA. There are some numbers for the Astros individually and as a team that are going to be benefiting everybody tonight. Curveball got him looking. That'll do it. Nice over-the-top yacker. A couple of strikeouts in the inning and 3 on the night for Harris. But quite a team effort as they just blow out the Padres here in Game 2 and make it 2 straight in San Diego and 5 straight overall. And they have lost just 1 time now through 8 games on this 9-game road trip. All Houston tonight. 14-3. They win it.